here for this one, especially if those individuals start finding that little bit of
for them as well. So struggling to find a core 5 here as well. Schneider, they started on T side on Inferno yesterday as well, and we did see him struggle to sort of find his niche, especially in their set plays and their rollouts.
Yeah, the thing is, as an individual, he seemed to be playing well, but within the collective, he seemed to kind of not find that place within the team just yet. So, of course, it is that kind of stand-in factor. He was able to pick up a good couple of kills, no denying that, but when it came down to the kind of bigger and grander picture of things, he wasn't quite there with them. But then again, a new day, new map, new style. Let's see how that goes for them. And, well, there's a lot more games coming up after the back of that, but let's focus on at least Hellraiser to start with now.
I've just had word as well that it is actually Cash here. So I think the ESEA website said Inferno. Ours said Cash.
Oh, good old Clash.
Luckily, I'd done my prep for Cash because I was like, oh, all of this can I just throw out the window. So Cash is interesting as well. It's a stronger point for Hellraisers.
Yeah.
Recently, they actually won quite a few games. They've actually beaten TSM and Fnatic this month. In fact, in the last couple of weeks here.
That's pretty impressive. And the things with Titan, they are very choreographed on it. They always have been. It's something that I used to really enjoy their play with, especially with the old lineup. It certainly did find some form there, but it did start to shy away. People learned the tricks of the trade, and they did kind of learn how to overcome it. But then again, I think we're going to see some interesting games coming out. I'm curious to see what lineup Hellraisers are bringing to this. Haven't quite seen the lock-in of the roster yet, so I'm waiting to see once that comes through. But when we have a moment, I think this is the time where people, of course, can go over to Vulcan, get your picks ready, get all that good stuff in, and of course the Score Esports, check that out as well, and maybe get yourself a little bit of information on the matchup coming in today, and maybe you can make a little bit of something out of this for yourself, especially if you're a Hellraisers fan. However, it does seem as though the teams are taking a little bit of time to get into the server, so to give you guys a break and maybe get yourself a beer, kick back. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock our time, so it's ample time for a beer.
After 10 a.m. It's Germany after 10 a.m.
Is it Germany 10? I've been operating on 12.
Well, I mean, it's loose, to be honest.
It's okay, all right. See, well, I can start drinking earlier. That's always a bonus. But guys, go crack a beer if you're not old enough. Maybe get a cup of tea. But guys, we're going to go to a very short break. Wait for the teams to get themselves into the server, and they'll be kicking off in this day. So welcome back to the ESL-ESEA Pro League. Hopefully we didn't keep you waiting too long, and the action is certainly on the way. However, these two teams are in slightly different forms currently. A couple of stand-ins here or there. Smiths will not be present for Titan, and Hellraisers have a little bit of a switch-up as well.
Yeah, they don't have Mo today. They actually used him yesterday, and then before that they weren't using him, so Sticko is going to be back in the lineup. Obviously, Schneider is present as well. And yeah, as you said, it's going to be Younes, or UU as he's calling himself now, for Titan, who's a Belgian player, plays for Team Platinum. Sort of one of the sort of tier 2 teams here, so they're bringing him in the mix. We'll have to see how he performs.
Yeah, I can imagine he'll do relatively well, I can imagine. For the side, looking at his previous stats, he certainly seems to be able to hold his own. Just checking on HLTV, I wasn't personally aware of the player myself, so have to see where he does on his debut. It is a fairly big game for Titan, bearing in mind they finally got themselves in a relatively good position on the overall kind of leaderboard and rankings thus far in the season. So they need to start getting these wins on their belt, and on paper you'd assume this should be their match. But as you noted, there are some big victories here coming in for Hellraisers. Yeah,
that's right. In recent times, at least, on this map. So, I mean, with all the turmoil going on, sometimes it seems like Hellraisers don't even know who they're bringing in towards these games. So, this time, of course, we have the line up there. Obviously, Lambert is going to be coaching. He's going to be jumping into spec in a moment and allowing, of course, the rest of his teammates to be here. So it is going to be Sticko, Oscar, Schneider, Angel, and Kusha for Hellraisers. And as Lauren sort of pointed out, Scream, Existence, RPK, Shocks, and UU here for Titan. Now, Titan, the possibility of a top 4 berth is present. It is possible, but they definitely can't afford to be dropping games like this. So must win this game and must definitely sort of have a strong last couple of weeks. And honestly, they're in the mix.
Yeah, and it's seeming to come in at the right time as Shocks and, well, it was Smiths having big games, is certainly paying off for them. However, this map is going to be a bit of a test. As said, Titan sometimes getting challenged quite readily on this. I think it was SK actually had a fairly good match against them on here. So let's hope for Titan's sake they've kind of shaken that monkey off their back and they can kind of start playing a little more to the caliber you'd expect. We'll find out very soon, as they are still in warm-up. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Hellraisers play this one out. They also have a lot of movement on the line, and they want to get away from that kind of bottom couple of teams, I guess, is certainly one of the main factors here. So I have to wait and see how that goes down. Yeah,
and as I said, today they can actually rise up quite a few places if all goes really well for them. It's going to be a CIS derby later on against Na'Vi as well, which is going to be super important for Hellraisers. And a tough one at that. Obviously, they'll be taking on Penta before that. So Titan here as well, we were remembering, of course, their solid comeback. It was a very solid comeback against NIP on Dust 2. Their CT side was very, very hard to break down. Honestly, they've won 4 out of 5 of their last games, and they've only really been playing Cache in the ESL-ESEA Pro League recently, so haven't really played it in any other leagues and stuff like that. Obviously, they don't get to choose when they play it, they just play it. So we're into the knife round here. It's going to be Hellraisers up against Titan, and let's see how things start to unfold.
So just a reminder, when these two faced last, Hellraisers actually did win that one. It was on Overpass during the Face It League not too long ago. But still, bit of a different day, different lineups. So you can't really read too much into that, and it looks fairly close in the knife round so far. We're not seeing anyone break ahead. It does seem as though it's down to the 1v1, and Existence will win it out. So Titan will get to choose side. I can imagine it'll be a CT-sided start for them, and let's see how they kind of build off the back of it. I'm curious to see where they actually put Younes here. Oh, sure, I'm going to call him You, as he is tagged up as You at the moment, and see how he plays into this. If Titan play a very similar role to how they've been playing, if they switch it up because of the stand-in, kind of interested to see how that pans out. But still, looking at Hellraisers, I did see that Tech 9 being purchased, and that's Kuchu who's going to be running that one. So let's see where he takes that toward.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they work around the lack of Smiths as well when it comes down to who's going to be picking up the AWP. We've seen Scream do it. We know Shocks is very capable of playing that role here, so Titan don't need to think about it now for at least the moment, but it will be an issue later on here. But for the most part, Hellraisers look like they're angling in towards A here to start things off. Just one smoke there. Sticko has that one in. That one gets thrown instantly.
Yeah, but there's a relative stack. 3 players for Titan, and all of Hellraisers going out. Kucha trying to be the kind of clean-up player. RPK gets overwhelmed, but will they expect Existence? Waiting out, he fluffs the shot. He finally picks up Angel, but that bomb is going down. He quickly tries to repeat. The bomb plant gets cancelled out, and Schneider picks up the double swiftly, and Hellraisers overtake the site.
Oscar going straight in there. Schneider combining with him nicely, and Scream is forced back out of the way. The bomb is planted, and he's up against 4 players, and it's going to be a very swift end for Scream. Good work there from Oscar, actually. He sort of strolled onto the side, picked up 2 very early kills, and that definitely opened things up now as Titan was sort of trying to rotate towards that site. But there we go, Hellraisers with a pistol here straight away, going into rifles for 3 players. To see how much utility that will afford them still. Schneider only is going to have a grenade here. Have enough at least.
Yeah, and I want to see where that molly gets put towards the end in the hands of Angel, if it's something they've got planned here for maybe the after plant. And it looks like Titan are doing a bit of a stack down mid. 2 players pushing up, Scream being one of them, Shox being the other. Angel trying to go to town with that Mac 10, not going to find much out of it first. And Shox is getting close, but Scream even closer, going to find Schneider's head. And Scream looking for that boost up and over.
A little bit risky there for Schneider to come forward so far, especially with Titan, a team that like to, what we've seen, like to shove up mid on Case at least. And Scream now trying to get a little bit cheeky, but Kusha is going to be there in mid. They hadn't locked that one down completely. And here's Sticker now as well. Hellraisers are still a little bit rattled by those first exchanges, and they yet to sort of commit to any sort of sight here. They might even try another boost, but Existence is going to be keeping his eyes on that one with the scout.
I was about to say, it was a little bit dangerous then. Schneider did actually have the rifle, but it seems to be recovered by Hellraisers. And now Titan looking for more. Shox is going to find Oscar. That's already 2 players down. This is going to get a little more dangerous here. And they have recovered the rifle. Shox does get the AK. Kucha trying to remove it from his hands, but he's not willing out in this one. Shox going to find Angel, and Shox goes in on this one. That's 2 back-to-back, leaving just 1 man standing for Hellraisers.
Very impressive by Shox there as well. And Sticko's just been trying to harass Yu for the most part of that round over at A. And finally, the stand-in will be able to jump out and get that kill here as well. He'll pick himself up with Galil. Shox, of course, retaining that AK here, so a very profitable round for Titan, and that's what we've seen from them recently as well. That second round, sort of buy-up, getting aggressive, 5-7 straight down mid. I mean, it wasn't a bad idea from Angel to have that Molotov. You could shake someone out of sandbags or try and, clear some of those corners in mid, but Hellraisers seemed a little bit, I don't know, like they lacked direction in that round.
Yeah, they kind of just got caught up in mid then, and if you're on the buy, you might as well be kind of powerful with it, try and make something out of it. And even, I throw my mind back to Chris J, always trying to watch the counter boost from the back of the truck. They're not going to find much this time, however. Boosted up, they have to be careful. We are seeing the Deagles come through, the Tech 9 and the armor investment as well. So a relatively well invested round, but you holding them back well by A. But Hellraiser's looking for this, and it looks like Titan have an idea why. Titan
have 3 players towards A as well. Shox is Screaming there. There's Oscar, though, very quickly taking down Yu. It's going to be pushed on towards the side here. Scream, can he hold him off? He does take down Schneider. Good headshot with the Famous there. He's got Stiggo pushing around the corner. There's another one. He can't find the third. The fire goes down as well as Oscar also on towards Existence here, and Titan now have to scrabble to get to this side.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough retake here. These guys are relatively well set up, but RPK just barrels in towards the forklift truck, and RPK isn't done just yet. He's on his second, looking for his third. Timing wasn't against him, but Kucha just flicks over and denies RPK the 3K and clutches the round out for Hellraisers. And now we've seen the turn of both tides. The second round being picked up by Titan just off the back of Shox in mid, and now we're seeing Oscar with that Deagle work coming out, Kucha to close down rounds. This is Hellraisers looking a little bit more switched on here.
Yeah, economically, this is also kind of awkward, as you can see from the buys here for both teams. Titan look like, again, they're going for their sort of force. It looks pretty similar to what they did in that second round. Here, Existence will be having that scout. So smoke and a flash and a grenade there as well for them as Shox gets himself up in his corner here as well. Now, bear in mind, there is 2 Molotovs for Hellraisers, and Schneider has one in his hand. So Shox is going to be forced out of position there as well. He's just going to have to shift straight away. He should be gunned down. Sticko will pick him up.
And it's always the hard task being against a team with so much more money than you just... all that utility can be invested to clear in these corners as Angel trying to make some more bank there. Going to catch out you. And this mid-take going substantially better than last time. Existence and RPK, the last 2 standing here, going to be kind of cut out by smoke. And the bomb is looking towards A, and actually they're still watching this cross.
Oh, Existence trying to work here from truck, and RPK takes down Schneider, but Kusha is too sharp with that quick double there as well. 2 for the round from him. I mean, we saw in the second round as well, Titan actually pushing up in mid, getting aggressive with those 5-7s. That was sort of rendered the push over the boost and the Molotov to that corner would have rendered it useless anyway. But this time they go for a similar buy, but they sit well back on it, and Shox really, instead of being aggressive, is caught in the corner with a Molotov and just taken out instantly. Yeah, and it has forced Titan to kind of double up on this sort of slightly shoddier buy. And RPK going out for the challenge here. As Shox actually pushing forward once again towards mid. This worked out before, but not again. Surely not. Oh, Shox just fluffs his lines, and Angel takes him down. A little bit of respite finally for Hellraisers. That is about the epitome of Brass Ball's play, I think, really now. As Scream's just forced to look left, right, and centre here. He's got men on his right and over towards the highway there as well. He's only got 16 health left, and it's just not going to be enough. A Sticker will easily be able to mow him down. And there's Angel as well, holding mid nicely. And Existence, well, he ceases to exist, and it's just RPK here. He's got a P250, but he's keeping himself well and truly out of the action here as well. Titan went from one passive force, one slightly more aggressive force, and neither of them really working out here at all.
No, and Schneider will find the final kill coming in. And RPK goes down. The bomb didn't actually get planted in the end there, so Hellraiser's losing out on a touch of money that could have maybe supplemented them some more, but still, it will be time back on the buy, so they're in a much of a better situation here. And Shock's even going for the Zeus, maybe feeling like he wants to push up mid again, try and find that, but let's find out how he wants to use that later into this one, as we are seeing the Galil being sticked out on here by Styko, so maybe feeling confident in that, but let's see how Hellraisers now get into this one. Shocks will be tucking himself in here, playing it a little passively to begin with. Now has actually allowed Oscar some freedom.
Yeah, interesting that he's done that yet again, but there's RPK. On towards Schneider already. He's taken a fair bit of damage here in towards Checkers, and he backs around. There's smoke can be made, so Kusha won't be able to work through that one existence. He managed to spring the trap from Vent there, but wasn't able to get the kill. But it's still going to be enough at least to force Sticko away from that one. And Hellraiser's down to 3 players. This is not looking so flash for him now, as they just sort of set up towards mid. There's some smoke in mid as well. That Scream is just going to be able to control that one with fairly easily. Now he'll look at A. That bomb. Oh, nice. You pushing aggressively into A main as well. So really stripping HR of options here now. They might have to go for another A main push with 2.
Yeah, Hellraiser's just being picked apart. You going to find another there. One man left standing for Hellraisers, and he does at least have the AK, but certainly outgunned in this instance. 45 seconds. Existence already working around his back. They know he's still working towards A at the very least, maybe towards mid, but RPK and you both watching this exit.
RPK is low here, so one decent shot from Sticko should be able to pick him up here. He's just going to try and tap at that truck, but little does he know that UU is up nice and close here. It's going to be a smoke, it's going to be a flash, and Sticko might actually try and get out of here. He only has 25 seconds left, so he might just be looking to stay alive a little bit longer, just checking his flank even. His existence actually opted to pull back in towards mid. And we're going to have another crack at it here.
He's trying to fake him out on the rotate, but they're having absolutely none of it, and Yu's going to lock him down at the door. Really well played. Nice discipline coming through from Titan then in the end. RPK and Yu both showing that off, and Yu picking up 3 that round. That little bit of an aggressive touch at the start, then falling back a little more passively really worked into their hands. But yeah, Hellraiser just got picked apart then. They lost out on the opening trades. Oscar kind of got caught in vents. The spray came in. He caught a nade early on, and one by one they just kind of fell. But we are going to see the AWP coming out for Oscar. No AWP to be seen on Titan.
No, still not going for that one here, I guess, with the absence of Smiths as well, and maybe the financial side of things. No, they can't really afford it either, so fair play, I guess, now is UU again going to smoke A main. Will he think about pushing here, but he can see Angel firing in the corner. He can at least see the bullets coming across here, so he'd be crazy to get too much more aggressive, but he's not in the corner. He's just on the edge of this smoke, trying to use that back corner now. Angel will flash this one. UU forced up into that little hidey hole in the corner.
I wonder if Angel's going to spray that again, because that's what he was trying to clear earlier, make sure no one was doing that boost, but you still holding it out. He's going to get the chance towards Oscar, he's going to take it, but can't follow up. 1-for-1 trade comes through. Doesn't really allow Titan any more ground to be gained. And now you're seeing Titan respond accordingly. Going to get some players in towards this A site. Scream and Shock's trying to close down the net, and that bomb is actually on the way.
Oh, Angel there, 2 very, very nice shots coming out from A main there, really opening things up here, as Scream just trying to with futility, tap through that smoke there as well. Akusha coming through. There's Existence though responding. He jumps down from the platform, but smoke still in his way. Towards Angel, who's just been big this round. Very, very good play, but it's a 2v2 now. Existence is low, and there's really not really much in terms of nades from him. That was the last one being thrown in Molotov, and that's actually going to hurt Existence a bit, but still, it's able to draw Sticko out from quad, and that'll be Existence to get the kill. Oh, yeah. Angel.
And RPK then put that down to clear the bomb site, allowing Existence to look around for more, but it is down to Angel, who's done brilliantly already with this round. 3 kills for him, but he's only got 16 seconds. Now RPK's got to know where he is, and Angel's going on that cross. RPK doesn't see it. RPK just holding the angle, waiting for the time. 8 seconds left. He's going for the default plan here. RPK, he's faked it. 4 seconds remaining. He's got no time. RPK, you know it. No, Angel in the last second finds a kill, and RPK caught with his pants down. Means that Hellraiser's building up on their T side.
You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't in those situations sometimes as well. I mean, even Angel, the jump across just to make sure he could at least see what was going on there. Stellar round from that man. I mean, even just what he was managing to orchestrate from A main. I think UU was living on the edge a little bit there as well, kind of threw himself away. He did get a kill, mind you, but sitting on the edge of the smoke instead of sort of setting up and watching an angle. We spoke about discipline the round beforehand. It seems like he might have been getting a little bit too big for his boots there.
So Angel going to clear vents with the molly first and foremostly. Let's look at RPK. Going to try and push up a little bit here. I don't think they've seen him cross out, but it looks like Kucha's trying to check this. RPK won't get the drop on them. Schneider stays alive, and Kucha does the real kind of hard work here. His time really struggling to find any sort of kill, and Existence will at least catch out Kucha on B, but Scream's edges his way through on A, but he doesn't have the bomb, and already the T side noticed that.
Yeah, the bomb being left back for Hellraisers as well, so they can just take their sweet time about this one. Unfortunate timing there, of course. I think it was from RPK. Unfortunately, he was looking towards Schneider instead of Kucha, who was just really trying to dig him out himself. But 1 kill for them in this round. You can see Oscar actually has picked up the AWP, although he did no damage with it on this occasion. And you have to wonder, Titan starting to fall behind the 8 ball a little bit, maybe feeling that lack of Smiths more than they'd like to admit. It's going to be a B plant here, albeit fairly slow one, as Hellraisers just make sure they checked all their corners before making their way in. You can even see the pre-fire being laid down by Schneider. Scream is well, pretty much just left to his own devices here. He might be playing some Sudoku on the wall or something. Don't look at me like that.
You good?
Noughts and crosses, maybe?
You good?
Tic-tac-toe?
Tic-tac-toe.
Yeah. With himself, so I don't really think it'd be that fun, to be honest, but it's something.
He's trying to catch something on the way out, but I doubt he's going to get much. Considering Hellraisers are barely leaving the B side at the moment. Angel's like looking around T-spawn. Scream's edging towards mid. And it might be Stico to pick him up in the end. He's going to try and catch the rifle, but they're so cautious about this. Scream does get a tag, but not much more. Stico will find it. And a relatively clean round from Hellraisers as well. Something they kind of needed. Kucha going down there, but the rest of them staying alive. So, looking at the board. A risky investment, oh, well, risky enough. Existence going to go for the AWP purchase here, trying to buck the trend, but Titan seeming a little bit worse for wear, and this is something we've seen in a little bit of a common trend with Titan. SK were able to push them, we saw not too long ago on Cash. It looks somewhat similar now.
There's a very weak map from them, actually, in that occasion. It's funny thing about Scream, you saw him there with a pistol at the end of the round. It's like he limits himself to 1 bullet per second. Any more than that, and he's spraying, and he doesn't want a bar of it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect there as well. Yeah, I mean, Titan super uninspiring against SK here, but you can see now Hellraisers actually just going to circumvent mid for the most part. It's actually Stico moving in towards long, and Angel in A main as well, who has just done really, really well at getting those picks on A and opening things up here for Hellraisers. But Scream has moved up into this little boost spot here as well. It might be able to yield 1, maybe more kills if he can. It depends how Hellraisers want to put themselves out onto this one. Schneider was checking that one as well, trying to see the angle. But he wasn't able to really come up with too much at all. And there's Angel as well, trying to make some shots now. Scream doesn't want to go for the knee, or maybe he does. He does get a bit of damage on towards Schneider, but he's given away his position.
And he needs to adjust. Nicely done, just ducking into that smoke there. And just seeing Squeaky close as well. He knows there's 2 players, at least by A here. Not sure if he's going to expect the 2 others waiting with that bomb, but he's going to be boosted up well. Going to get the spot towards Angel, but Angel takes his head off. Hellraisers again and again breaking in towards his site. Now they've got to know there's another player on the site. As Scream was boosted to that position, but it's going to be RPK making the most of it. You still there creating that crossfire, but it's just you standing. He goes round towards MPK, picks up the double. Perfect positioning again from this man, showing some real dominance, but ran out of bullets, closing down with that USPS. And for a stand-in, he is doing work.
It's funny, actually, the last games that we've been seeing, the standards have really been outperforming their teammates, and well, UU is no exception at this very moment. It was Scream there, seeming a little bit unsettled on the A side, sort of back and forth, maybe just jumping the gun a little bit early there, maybe nerves, or maybe something else, but UU at least could be depended on by Titan here, and it's a very important round here. They'd hate to go 2-7 with Hellraisers at this point here, and they get one back. And UU doing really, really nicely over on A. Now, buy-wise as well, Kusha's only got that Tech 9 and pretty much no utility. However, the rest of Hellraisers do have a fair few nades in their pockets. They've got those AKs as well, and Existence is persisting to use that AWP.
See how it goes. Shock's going to be flashed a little closer forward. He's going to be met by force by Angel, but he does win on the trade. Backs away, and this is the first time we've seen really Titan getting these opening kills. Normally, they've been losing out on them every now and then, but RPK waiting patiently gets decimated by Kucha, and Existence already receiving attack.
Yeah, Existence not able to finish up the kill there, and he goes for another poke despite Hellraisers sort of flooding onto that site there. And there's Schneider as well, cleans up. UU Shocks aggressively just pushing himself out on towards heaven there. I guess hoping that Hellraisers maybe weren't ready for that one here, but he does get a flash on. Kusha will probably try and plant in the back corner. That's not bad by Shocks, getting himself on the other edge, and he does manage to win that aim battle, a very, very important one, but he's got 2 players still to go through. Molotov there, don't think that was thrown by Shocks at all, maybe a team one. Stico went low, but Schneider will still be able to finish the job.
Yeah, and this is a really nice T-side from Hellraisers. I still feel Cash is a more even map than most. It's not as CT biased as we're seeing a couple of the others becoming. Especially the likes of Inferno is becoming really CT biased in my eyes. Unless it's seemingly Na'Vi playing it where they can make it look like a T-side map. But, you know, I think this is a good scoreline overall for Hellraisers still, even though you'd say this is still a little more equal. I think they can be pleased with this thus far, but it looks like they're on form to get more. It's only Shocks is able to really buy into this one. The rest of Deagles and Armor, or maybe a CZ 570, 250, nothing much to work with. And Angel, even going in on that Mag 10, is going to be quite difficult, though they do have the armor. And now, look at the pressure mid. Schneider instantly removes Shocks, and now mid is open. Scream picks up the pieces.
Shock's trying to challenge that one out there against a fully armed Hellraisers, and it's just not going to pay off for him this time. There's Angel on towards Scream, and RPK, well, he's going to be waiting for some sort of push out of mid, but it's just Hellraisers controlling mid right now. There's a smoke towards the CT side of mid, and they're going to push on towards A, and Yu's got himself in A long here, a bit of a different spot. Existence, though, will go down, and it's just the 2v4 situation. That's Yu at least getting one out the door. The potential with that headshot at close range with the P250 can always sort of turn things in your favour in a pinch, but that's probably not the flash he was looking for. He'll still be able to turn it. And he's got an AK in front of him as well. We're tantalising him. He goes for it, and Oscar makes him pay.
Ballsy play going out. I guess you have to go for it at some point, right? If he'd won that 1v1 as well, whoever... was it Oscar who was close, or was it Angel? I can't remember which one of the two.
I think Oscar was in A main, and Angel was the highways.
That was it. Yeah, so if he'd taken maybe that 1v1 a little earlier, maybe, you know, you always look back at it and you're like, oh, hindsight's 2020. If he'd won out on that, you never know what could have happened, but anyway. Back into the game. We've got 8-3 on our hands, and you noted earlier that Hellraisers do have some really impressive results on this map. They might be on for another one.
Yeah, it's, you know, you can only read into that so much now with everyone sort of changing and having stand-ins, but yeah, I mean, TSM and Fnatic are amongst the, I guess the deer heads on their wall, if I to go so far and use that analogy. So they've done fairly well in recent times, and that's Schneider opening things up nicely towards Highway Scream, or at least be able to respond at least, but he wants that M4, or the AK, should I say.
The AK.
He'll pick it up, and Kusha, though, comes and takes it straight away from no armor, and that's rough with the aim punch coming in, and Existence can't contest either, and Hellraiser's just completely forced Titan down.
Nice to see the old ice skating bug is back in GoTV, ladies and gents. Who missed that one? You gotta love it when the player models just kind of like skate in. Just Schneider just skating up highway like, hey guys, what's up? Anyway, back into this one. Once again, Titan trying to buy what they can. Trying to just stop the rock, because as you can see, they picked up a couple of rounds here and there, but it's been generally, you know, one player doing some big performances or picking up some really important kills, rather than the whole collective actually operating well. And it looks like they've gone for a stack out in mid this time. Trying to switch things up, I guess by this point you have to. So Shock's, Existence and Scream are focusing down towards mid, but it's you who's going to have to deal with the flood of Hellraisers.
Yeah, a lot of smoke towards mid, but this could get quite messy. Kusha's going to push out of aim, and you ran out of bullets at the worst time possible, and Kusha takes him down. Scream, though, will push through that smoke straight towards Quad. He gets one, but he's going to have to back away. There's 4 Hellraisers players right there. He'll make it 3, and Shock's going to be able to get involved as well. It's very messy, but now it's RPK, and Oscar picks him up before we can even see what transpired there. 2 for Sticko, 2 for Oscar, and Hellraisers there just indomitable, aggressively pushing A.
The late trades just went in their favor. You saw the early ones were coming back in. Scream got to a good spot. You know, he held them up. He slowed them down. He allowed those mid-rotates to come in. But Titan just not landing the shots they needed to. Not having the presence they had to on towards A, leaving you just by himself. And Hellraisers with a fantastic 6th sense then. Almost just heading towards A, completely skipping the pressure that Titan were putting towards mid, and it looks like HR just want to really kind of run this one home, heading straight towards B. RPK's going to fall. He was the last bastion of hope for Titan on that site. Shock's not going to get the deagle straight up, but he does eventually find Schneider. But Hellraisers by this point have taken over the site.
RPK is being punished for aggressively pushing into checkers as well and checking B main from there. There's always a Hellraisers player there as well, and he's been trying a few different things, getting around the corner behind the boxes, and none have really been working out as well, and it's disappointing to see that sort of same sort of, I guess, issue come up for him here. Titan need him to be really strong, as you said, that bastion of strength on the B side, because, well, this is what happens otherwise. You're trying to get an AWP shot out, he does actually get tagged up for his trouble. It's going to be a flash behind him, and Angel's going hunting, and he will take him down. And this is Hellraisers looking very, very strong right now. Titan, I don't know, quite muted. And you know what? It's not
really subdued. Yeah,
it's not even Yu as well. I mean, listen to the scoreboard as well. Yu's playing quite nicely.
He's top fragging for them right now, if I'm not mistaken. But they're going in for the double AWP. Well, all right, Scream, you got some assists, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, looking at this, they are going to go in for the double AWP. Try and maybe switch this up. Wait.
Look at Hellraisers.
Oh, what? At least it's not 5. At least it's not 5. Like, I'm getting used to these games with like 5 AWPs coming out to play, but I want to see if you can do this as well, because of course, Smiths does bring a certain real element with his AWP, but Schneider's going to be caught out with that molly there a little, so I don't think they're fully aware of what sort of damage they're doing, but Yu is certainly keeping up to par at the moment, tagging up one. That's Psycho going down low. But still, Hellraisers have so much utility to work with. Look how many mollies, the smokes, the flashes. They've got a great deal here. And RPK actually switching up as well. He switched up towards mid, but Scream just going to go wild. Walks straight in, says hello, picks up 2. And hell, he's going to challenge out on the 3rd. Skates his way back out towards main, but Oscar, he's not winning that battle.
No way. Now with only 3 orbs left on Hellraisers, it's a little bit tricky when you've only got orbs actually to orchestrate a push on towards the site.
This makes me nervous.
Titan have the bomb.
Yeah, they do, but look at that spam. It's going right through. Shox was going in on it. And one of these two looks as though they can land it. If Shox got reloaded then a second earlier.
Really? I think it's now ego games really between those two, but we did see Schneider drop down.
To be fair, Oscar's just going to peek normally now. I don't know if he expects you to be watching the angle, but there you go. Shox is going to push up in the end, catch him out, and they will just leave Kucha alive.
I don't know what to make of that round from Hellraisers as well. The triple AWP sort of set up there. I mean, sure. I can understand how you can create entry opportunities like that, but when you only have 3 AWP players, I don't know. But Titan, actually, it was a fairly aggressive investment towards the double AWPs here. Notice that you had nothing. It was glass cannon, no grenades either. So real investment in towards that for Titan there. Obviously, last round and a half, so why not spend your cash there? The Hellraisers will just drop that one here. Here's Scream. I love this aggressive push. This
is the big difference. It's the first time we've seen some really aggressive plays coming out from Titan that paid off perfectly. We've seen Shox pushing towards mid a couple of times, but that was a big investment then.
There was a sick pop flash as well. They were both flashed, absolutely flashed. So not much they could really have done about that at all here. Half-time, and this is maybe not what we'd expect to see from the Frenchmen. Well, actually, you know what? I don't want to call them Frenchmen anymore because they're more Belgian today than they are French. They've got 3, obviously, Belgian players and 2 men from France here. But 4 rounds in the half. Hellraisers with a very, very dominant T-side. And Titan well, obviously they need to reciprocate here, but they'll have to start with at least winning the pistol.
I'm not going to lie, these... Hellraisers are playing really quite well. That's the thing that I'm enjoying at the moment. Their T-side was actually really impressive. Considering they have a couple of stand-in players, they're still being able to keep up the sort of form that I expect from maybe more of a consolidated team. But let's see what Titan can do on their T-side. I'm hoping they've got a little bit more fire to them, because so far it's been a little bit lacking, but already the stacking mid going to come through. A couple of players, maybe 3, I think, boosted up that distance, trying to edge in as well. There we go. And it looks like maybe a 3-2 split towards A, quite possibly, if they go for this. Something that Titan do quite regularly do. These are the choreographed plays I'm talking about, but 4 players here, so a 4-1 split.
Yeah, and you can see Angel and Oscar reacted straight away to Schneider seeing the boost over the top. They're starting to hook around here as well. Schneider's doing well. He's picked up Existence, who, honestly, as much as I talked him up as having improved, been a quiet one for him, and RPK as well. Both of them been a little bit lackluster. But here's Oscar now going hunting for Shox, but Shox is not going to be caught that easily, not by anyone, and Angel also is going to step up to the plate and have a go. It's a 4v3. Schneider has a flash in the smoke, so does Sticko, so there's nades here for Hellraisers to make something happen, but the bomb is down, and Yu's back in the corner. He has absolutely no backup. He has 41 points of health. Make that 0, as Kucha will get the execute, and that will be the defuse for Hellraisers, and that is really bad news for Titan. This is now turning into a bit of a disaster for them here. They really, really needed this round, but Hellraisers responded really, really well to seeing that push over mid. All Schneider had to do was look, sees 3 heads bob over the boost, and we saw Oscar, and I think it was maybe Angel, just flank straight through mid.
Yeah, and if you guys are just tuning in and you're wondering who the standing is Yoons. Currently tagged up as Yu, so we're going to be calling him that just because it's on the scoreboard, but his name is Yoons. He's been kind of playing around that kind of tier 2 marker just so far, but he has actually got some decent results behind him. He's actually been having a fairly decent game as well. However, outside of that, it's been very quiet for Titan. He's going to be stepping in for Smiths, I believe, who's currently been travelling around, but back into the game. Oscar has found Shox, Kucha towards you, and this round has gone rather south for Titan. And it's been a real quick kind of slash and bash there going through. Psycho going to close out on towards Existence, and 2 players falling, but of course nothing to be recovered for Titan.
So we're always interested to see how the standing players actually perform on the T side, because as we saw, the way Titan used Yoons was pretty straightforward. Just hold A, you're going to be that dedicated A player, do what you can, stall them out if you can, smoke it, and then hold from quad. But now he has to play on the T side as well, and it looks like at least Titan might use him as a sort of supportive or second line fragger at this stage. He was sort of running with RPK, who had the bomb through long A, and they might actually do that again here. Yep, 3 players in towards A long. Shox is in A main, and Existence is just keeping mid a bit busy, but Oscar has pushed aggressively in.
Alright, let's see what they can do. Oscar's going to catch out Existence, but It's not the end of the world, but it will certainly force the hand of Titan, who are going to start pouring out, but they do overwhelm one. Kucha does four, but Schneider with the triple coming in. Shox finally stops him, but he's in a 1v3. I don't know if he can even get that gun without some trouble, as Oscar vigilantly looking out. 1 minute left. Bomb to hand. Shox has to fight the challenge here. He's got it. He's taken down Oscar. He gets another. Shox on the 3K. Molly comes in. He's got to be so careful. He catches Angel, but he can't get the shot. And Hellraisers get another one on the board.
Well, a little bit of Shox magic definitely is handy to have for Titan, but if it's not enough to clutch around here and they're too away from losing it, it's really just not enough. It's just kind of the icing on a cake that hasn't even been made yet. It's just icing, actually. Just eat it straight out the tube, and really doesn't make you feel that good, especially afterwards as well. You're feeling a bit sick. But Titan now, of course, have got a heck of a lot to make up here. They've at least been able to cobble together a bit of a buy. Shox only has the AK and armor here. Probably all he really needs, to be honest. But Titan, we struggle to really make some inroads here. I expect to see... I was going to say I expect to see a work towards A-Long again. Now, I guess they did that, but they just got absolutely smashed down. Yu and Shox has hit the deck now, and Scream is trying to just do it out with Sticko. He's there, and damn, Hellraiser with some confidence coming forward here. Seems like they're more than happy to take these Angels, and they're just beating Titan every time. 1-to-1, pound for pound. They're definitely looking the better team.
Yeah, they really are, and... it's great to see Hellraisers looking confident enough to go aggressive and kind of picking up this pace, because on paper you'd never see this sort of scoreline coming through. You maybe guess at a close game. Hellraisers having some great results on this map, but Schneider having a blinder as well, really helping them out. But outside of that, it's been everyone playing well for Hellraisers. So now looking at what Titan have coming into this round, it's not a great deal now. They can work with it, but it looks like an all-in play towards A. Hellraisers already pushing back. They don't want to take this fight too up close and personal. We saw what Shox can do with that Tech 9, but still.
They left A open for the retake here as well. It's just Kusha holding from truck. They actually put two players in mid to try and, I don't know, maybe take Titan by surprise, but Existence actually has turned this one around. He's taken down two as well. Angel and Schneider go down. Bomb is down at A. 3 players are there. Scream is actually in A main here, ready to receive Sticko, and one bullet's all he really needs, but he's not connecting him at this stage. Oh, that headshot ratio was just decreasing bit by bit.
Yeah, just Shox and Yoongs left alive, so they could do something here. They're in good angles, and actually, Yoongs going to take the fight towards Psycho. This is down to a 2v2. Look at this. Shox waited patiently. He's going to get it. It's down to just Kucha, and this is looking more and more likely for Titan. And even against the odds, they've managed to scrape around together. And sure, you will go in for the kind of buy time and just throw himself into the fire, as there we go. Titan finally get around on the board.
Yeah, a great start for them as well. I mean, it could have gone a lot worse if Hellraisers actually had a stronger A presence there. It was just Kucha sitting at truck, so they were going for something in mid, but mid was so smoked out that I think it was Existence managed to push through, get one, and then get Schneider as well, as he was on the top of the slanted roof. So Hellraisers didn't really have the best response there, but here's Sticko picking up the AUG. Hala Snacks. Was it Neo? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that. That was interesting. That mean, isn't it the first couple shots are 100% accurate?
I think the first shot is almost 100% accurate. But someone did like a recent video on the recoil pattern. It's actually pretty deadly, but Angel's going to kick this one off well for Hellraisers, fighting the first frag here. Now Titan have to play from a little bit of a deficit. 1 minute and 20 seconds to work it out. Nice little smoke just to keep Schneider guessing. And Shox and Scream maybe looking to work towards A, but they're keeping their options open. Bomb is still pretty far back. They've not really committed anywhere. The flash coming out, and actually RPK could be caught off. Look how low he already is, 18 HP.
Already without Yu as well, Titan just have to draw themselves together and make another push here. It's a bit of spray coming through here, and RPK catching Sticko with a little bit of it, but he's going hunting here, COD style, with that AUG. And Scream has the bomb at Schneider, holding mid beautifully, takes down Existence at RPK, and then Shox is not far away as well. And this is just Scream left with the AWP and the bomb, and a heck of a lot of rounds to win. And being on the last round, of course, here, if Hellraisers can take this one out here, it's all but done. And Titan staring down the barrel of a massive upset.
All right, Scream, let's see what you've got. Not a lot. Schneider's going to close down, and Hellraisers pick up the win. Great stuff from them here. Not the result I expected. Bearing in mind, we said today that there's so much to be achieved for Hellraisers. If they start getting these wins in, they haven't played that many games in the ESL ESEA Pro League. So actually, picking up one over Titan now is the perfect start for today.
That's right, and we said, potentially, ideally, if they win 3 games here, they can really start...
người yêu xưa bây giờ gặp nhận chẳng ra. Một đời giàu sang đến mấy, phút lỗi lầm giờ kẻ trắng tay. Đời bạc gian có ai không ham giàu sang. Được một thua hai trong kia bạc ra. Khi chơi nào biết kiếp số sẽ mang bao ưu buồn. Giờ này thân xác đã héo khô, tình thân cũng đã lánh xa. Còn mình ta chơi với đi về đâu. Cuộc đời rồi đây chẳng biết về đâu. Nuối tiếc cũng thế sẽ chẳng quay trở lại. Chỉ mong những ai trên thế gian đừng vì ham bao lợi danh được thua trong kiếp bạc gian. Đến lúc hối tiếc đã quá muộn màng.
Important. Gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny out. He won the kill, and then he gets the second. Kenny punches around.
So welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. We are getting ourselves ready for Game 2. And as you just saw, Hellraisers picked up the knife against Penta.
Yeah, fairly straightforward affair here. Dust 2 is going to be the map between these two teams as well. Now, Hellraisers have had an interesting sort of record on this one. They've actually alternating wins and losses for literally alternating win-loss, 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 win-loss for the last month or so.
What was their last one? Do you remember?
Their last one was a win against SK. It was 16-4.
So in theory, if it's true to trend, this could be a loss. But you'd say after seeing that first game, this should be a win for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And bear in mind, they're up against Penta as well, who have struggled on Dust 2 in a big way in the last month. They lost 16-7 to Killerfish, 16-3 to Titan, and 16-6 to Hellraisers.
But we are into this one, and Struck's in a great little spot very early on here, considering they are going towards short. Him and Tabson could be in a good spot. Tabson, however, does get removed by Oscar. And that T-side does start going, but there's the execution towards Angel, as Spiddy now has to slow it down. Great connection towards Psycho, and now looking for more. Schneider's low, and this is good work from Spiddy. Just crystal accuracy coming out, as now just Oscar left alive, and you can see Taliesin holding back, being patient, and now looking for the punish.
Yeah, Spiddy had plenty of time there to send his shots, as they were more interested in whatever was happening in CT, where Hellraisers, so that pistol will go over towards Penta Sports here. And yeah, I did mention as well, the last time they played Hellraisers was fairly recently on Dust 2. Hellraisers made a meal of them in that one here. However, last time Penta sort of played Dust in general, I think it was, Hellraisers, sorry. They played it in the Global Offensive Champions League, the Go CL, and that was a big win for them. So that was Hellraisers versus Penta in that one, so.
Okay, but the thing is that I can never get over, after casting a couple of the EPSs, the German EPS, it's very hard to deny any German teams on Dust 2. It is quite the staple diet for them, so they're certainly aware of this, but whether or not they can capitalise on that fact is the next thing. It looks like Crystal's going to be the man to receive the flood of Hellraisers, and Schneider just baiting out, knife out, like, hey guys, look at me, because my team's about to go towards short.
Crystal's named his gun Arshku as well, which is Arse Cow. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, but Tabson gets 3 there. 4 actually, as he does get the taps away on the Hellraisers as they try and push up. Beautiful stuff from that man as well. Didn't even see the first one. Shame that Arse Cow wasn't the one to get the kills.
I was about to say, aren't you glad you were talking about Crystal's named gun when that happens?
Well, I have a short attention span, what can I say?
Especially when it comes to arse, apparently. Anyway, 2-0 as we move swiftly on. Hellraisers is going to go in the purchase onto that round 3. Let's see if they can build anything out of this. They've got the Galils out to play too. AK's Oscar and Schneider going to be running those, and it looks like it could be a mid to B building here. Not yet seen them commit towards it, of course, but they do only have those 2 smokes, which does kind of indicate they could go for that, but let's see if they try and get that short control, because Crystal is only waiting.
That's right, it's going to have to back off there as well, off the ledge, and it's going to be a nade to come there. Who's on A side? They do at least have a player there as well, and we are going to see Crystal try and spray them down from CT. He backs off and taps, and the hero of last round, is he going to do it again? He gets 3, that's 8 kills in 2 rounds from the man holding A, and he's completely taken the wind out of Hellraiser's sails as well. You can see now, of course, that they are just backed up here a little bit. There is a Molotov burning on the side, and Oscar is still on short. My God. Hellraisers have had a tough couple rounds here.
Yeah, Penta's been stopping them in their tracks every time they've tried to look towards short. Not really doing too much to throw them out of here. Crystal playing a little further forward initially, then falling back towards the site, creating this lovely little crossfire. But Schneider going to be joining Oscar here. 40 seconds left. No flashes, no smokes, nothing to do with this one. Just going to go for those aim battles. And there is Spiddy still on long, so he can kind of fall back and support Crystal. But Crystal playing very passively. Spiddy trying to buy time, but Crystal is there. That's Schneider gone. And Oscar will fall. Nice work from Penta then, picking up the first gun round, I guess. Going to even pick up a rifle to boot, and a good start for Tabson here.
These Famouses are doing some serious work. And yeah, Tabson, 9 kills over 3 rounds. There's pretty damn impressive stuff from him as well. Patient stuff on towards A, and I mean, Hellraisers haven't really had the equipment, I guess, to sort of deal with that kind of thing yet. Now, 4th round comes up here, and honestly, economically, they're still not even ready to buy up here. Obviously, they've spent a bit of money in the last few rounds, and Jesus, this is not a great position to be in if you're the Hellraisers.
No, there's still ample chance to turn this, but you can see the investment already of utility paying dividend, as already Hellraisers have to kind of remove that control towards mid. But I like this little spot from Crystal, just holding the angle towards those double doors in case Schneider fancied running out there again. But it looks like Hellraiser's kind of doing the rinse and repeat. Gonna head straight over, but Tabson a little early on the flash, of course doesn't know there's 4 players there, is going to start edging through. The 1 Tabson coming out, but Hellraiser's going to try and make a go of this.
Yeah, it's just Tabson there. He's been forced to rotate. He still gets 2. He is on point right now. That's 3 for the man. Tabson is flying high. And Penta Well, they're right behind him as well. 4 rounds to none there. And Tabson there, yeah, a little bit nervous, of course, not being on the A site when there's a 4-man push from short. But so much patience, and he really held his nerve there.
He's been the individual factor that stopped them getting A. Joined in occasional touch by Crystal early on, but he has really been the main stopping force. Now the difference is that Hellraisers do have the smokes, they have the mollies, they've got the AWP in play. It's going to make it a lot harder to play how Tabson has been. But then again, let's see how he comes around this. They're going to try and double stack out on long, get some early control there. The smoke not looking optimal, but Hellraisers again, so much focus towards short. But Crystal isn't playing it. Tabson and Spitty have to fall back a little and reset. But Hellraiser's getting some real early control, and Psycho going to try and get some presence out here. He just walks straight out. Flashes are coming through though, and it's making it a lot harder. But Hellraiser's also splitting towards B.
Yeah, that's right. They can actually wrap around a little bit here as Schneider picks up Crystal. Bombs at B, as you said, and it's going to be pushed on now. Tarsin will be forced to try and hold on to this one, and Angel is just going to take him down instantly. Strux now, he has to step up, and unfortunately he was put down very quickly. It's just Hellraisers all over it this time, and nice little double there for Oscar. I guess not committing too much to short has paid off.
Yeah, I actually like that fake play. It kept so many of the players dedicated towards that A side, and even the B players just didn't seem to be expecting that much presence to come through that quickly as well. That split through mid really paid off for Hellraisers, so nice to see they have some real variety in their sort of play style here. So let's see if they can do that again. It did take a fair bit of work for them, but also going to be watching that cross. Doesn't get the tag, actually. Looked like he almost did there, but Strux and Tarsin remain unscathed, and we are going to be seeing, once again, Angel and Kucha get those early nades in. No one going to be caught off by that. But it does mean that Strux's attention will be kept a second longer before he once again attends towards mid.
They're definitely going to be tested, that combination over on the B side, a little bit more if Hellraisers are feeling confident about the B side. You can see that Crystal and Spitty are pushed up towards long as well, so honestly, short isn't a terrible move here for Hellraisers at the moment if they can make a quick move of it. But Schneider is sitting back. Spitty doesn't seem like he's actually going to be pushing through here, and Strux, of course, will be setting up. And there's a smoke. Short being pushed now. Tabson is in position. It's going to be a flash from him as well. Going to buy him a few valuable seconds, but we do see, of course, the smokes coming down in response. So Hellraisers really just trying to set something up here as well. Tabson won't be able to see through that one, but there is Crystal as well. He is in a decent spot. Tabson's forced away from the Molotov fire. Can he get some taps on towards Kusha? No, the AK from the man is too strong, but Crystal responds. Now just Kusha has to push out onto short on his own for the moment as Angel and Schneider haven't quite joined him yet as well. The flick won't connect. A little bit of an off angle for the man. It's a second shot to not make it through. Crucial time being lost here. And Penta have to sit back and play the retake, I'd say. The bomb appears to be in CT. It's fallen from short, and that's pretty annoying if you're Hellraisers.
Yeah, it really is. That's going to mean they have to commit to this. But boost back up, though. But look who's waiting. Tarsin, edging through the smoke, wants to stop him before the plant goes down, and he does just that. Strux will back up towards Kucha. And, well, that bomb being lost really was quite the devastating factor there. But once again, good play coming out towards those Ace players. And I'm curious if Hellraisers is just going to switch up and have to try and negate that or go for presence on long. They haven't really been playing off the back of that, just focusing short a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that may not work out for him either, with Penta actually committing 2 players to long consistently.
Yeah.
And Hellraisers have tested short now, I think, almost 4 times. So only one of those times really working out here. Angel this time early getting himself towards long.
Spitty's challenging on short. This is different. Spitty's pushed up. This could spell trouble. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but he gets the information instantly. Crystal is going to turn. Smoke down, Molly to follow. Tabson, eyes turn towards long. He knows the split's coming. That's perfect. It means Penta can now focus towards short, but that's not where Hellraisers are going. They've turned tail and heading back towards long.
I'd be surprised if they actually want to. They do. They want to test Tabson here as well. That's Tarsin actually going to take Sticker's head off there. He just lingers too long in the mid. Schneider responds on towards Tabson. That's a key player down for Penta Sports now. The bomb being left in mid, and Crystal's going to be able to pick up Schneider as he just gets a little bit too big for his boots there on long. Kusha has the bomb. Tarsin will probably just try and hold him here in mid as well. Kusha has to be very careful about how far across the left he gets, and he's just going to back around and go for long. Tarsin should be able to meet him here, and he does.
Yeah, Penta, this is really nice. They're reading what Hellraisers are bringing almost perfectly. Little bits of information seeping through here and there, just Spitty being a little more aggressive on short, then everyone understanding off the back of that, Crystal investing the smoke and the molly, and then instantly, I think it was Tarsin, if I'm not mistaken, it might be Tabson. Tabson, I think, went on long then, but you know, all in all, they're just reading Hellraisers very, very well at the moment. Now, don't get me wrong, Hellraisers, you know, that B play they brought out was something, you know, from the A playbook. That was a really nice B split then. And it looks like they're going to go back towards maybe just kind of rushing out mid, but Tabson is ready and waiting. He knows what's up. Oh, he just turns away.
Well, at least he's got that information as well, importantly enough. I did say Tarsin and Strux could be tested here, but it might be Tabson actually the first one to be contested now as mid is filled up with Hellraisers players, and Tabson It's actually going to whittle them down to just 4 as Angel falls. It's going to be the Glock train trying to come through here through mid, and Tapson and Crystal, they will oblige. They will mow them down. And the harvest is complete, 7-1 there as well. I mean, Hellraisers seem to, even on buy rounds actually, stack a lot. In their early positioning. Remember when we saw, I think it was Spitty challenging on short on his own against, I think 4 players pushing in towards him. There was all Hellraisers players there. So they're sticking together a lot early on. They're not splitting out too much here. But yet it's still not working for them. It's a little bit of a different approach, a change of tact as it were here as Crystal's getting aggressive towards mid, albeit slightly.
Okay, so Crystal, a little aggressive, but has time to back away. That Molly will actually go down. And Angel, you need to realize what's up here. He's kind of a little lost in that smoke. That's a really nice position, Molly. And a little bit of a denying smoke towards short. Going to buy a little more time for Tabson to back away. But look at the presence towards mid now come from Penta. Crystal and Strux both focusing on this. Maybe trying to once again read into what Hellraisers are doing here. But it looks like once again they are mobilizing. A couple of flashes through, but Hellraisers really slowing things down now.
Tabson will be the man on short here, so if Sticko wants to go for any sort of push around here, he'll be meeting him very, very quickly. Now, flash on towards Sticko as well. A few flashes out from each team, and looks like he does want to go for this one here, but Tabson will be there to meet him. He takes a lot of damage, though. He does back off. He picked up Angel somehow through the fray. And Crystal now is just going to have to support. He can do, he has the AWP. Smoke's coming down.
But Spitty's fallen along. This is the first time Hellraisers have control there. This is a big difference. Crystal doesn't have anywhere safe to turn, and now Oscar's going to find him. Tabson tried to stay alive just in the off angle, but Oscar's going to catch him out too. Now Penta on the retake here. Strux trying to speed it up. Not going to get the chance on it. Already Styko's there. Boosted up, waiting for anyone to push. Bomb does go down. And Schneider quickly dispatching off Strux. I mean, just Tarsin left alone.
Yeah, that two-pronged assault working out quite nicely there as well. Hellraisers, instead of committing 4 to short, Tarsin will dispatch Styko quickly. Yeah, instead of committing 3 or 4 to short, they actually pushed some through long there. Managed to, of course, take down the player there. I think it was Strux, or Spitty. Well, that's definitely worked out in their favour now. Tarsin just on clean-up duty now. He's got 2 kills so far. It's going to be the flash down here in towards CT. Schneider is there. He's not in a great position. Tarsin can shut down here. He's got 3 seconds. Schneider has to interrupt this one. He's going to try and jump up, but he can't find the angle. There's that defuse. Nice work by Tarsin coming across from Killerfish and now killing some Hellraisers.
Outstanding play. And you know what? Hellraisers thought they were safe. They thought that was done and dusted. You could see them backing away, playing a little safe. That player along just got destroyed. I want to watch that one back. I swear to God, that was just beautiful stuff from Tarsin. And you just don't expect that sort of play coming out all the time. Hello, people.
That was the replay, I think.
That's the replay of us. I want to watch that back. All right. But, like, look at this. From this position, he was able to pull it through. But we are back into the round, so maybe we can watch this one back a little later. Because that was something special. But still, this is the first time we've really seen Penta at a deficit to begin with. But now the 3-man stack on long is being met by 4. Spitty pushing up there with Tabson. This German side is really forcing Hellraisers to play out of their mind here.
Well, they're changing things up now. They have to. Hellraisers going for something different almost every single round. But Penta, their default setup is just they're receiving these players well. They're winning the aim battles. They're winning the 1v1s. You can't really ask much more of a team with a solid CT lineup as it is. But now with Styko and Schneider off the table, it's just those 3 players from Hellraisers now just have to put something together. Mid is a possibility here if they have the smokes for it. No presence there really at all for Penta, actually more concerned about long and a potential push to B with Crystal now down at AWPer in mid.
So, can they weather the storm again? Hellraisers, I'd love to see them kind of commit a little more. Last time they won out here is because Oscar got the double. However, it's just Tabson on the side. Crystal's normally had his back with the AWP. He's not got that possibility. Maybe why Hellraisers fancy this a little more. There is still that player along Spitty waiting out in pit, but they are slowly but surely encroaching on the site. These 2 players going to have the drop on Tabson here.
Yep. No sound cues for Tabson at all. He has no idea what's happening here. That's the only thing that has been given away to say the Hellraisers are there. He does respond nicely, though. Hellraisers managed to creep up all the way to the bomb site, but Tabson springs into action, and he does not miss. And now it's just Angel now on shore. Bomb is just too far away to grab. There's no time. Angel will at least get an exit on towards Tarsin. It's unlikely. Strux may challenge there with the USP, trying to get a little bit cheeky, but that's the round, and Penta pick it up nicely. Well, could have gone either way, to be honest, with, I think it was Tabson not having any sort of prior information about Hellraisers being there.
Can we just once again highlight Tabson here? Look at his score. Hit, observer, hit tab, please. Because he's on 21-6. Yep. He's looked at all the bets right now, he's like, your skins look delicious. So he's just going to go wild. It's like, okay, Hellraisers had a good game, let's really mess things up for them. But still, Strux going to try and kick things off here. You can see the little jumping, trying to get the information. As once again, Hellraiser's going to try and switch things up. Bomb is in the B tunnels. And Hellraiser's on this real shoddy bite. Last time they did succeed in that mid to B play, and I'm kind of hoping they do that again.
Yeah, it's been a little while since they've really actually attempted for that one, though. They seem more comfortable using long.
There's 3 players at B, though.
Oh, and Strux is going to get the job done nicely as well. Tarson even makes an aggressive peek out, and they've shut down Hellraisers completely. It's just Kucha. He might get one. That's not going to be enough here for Hellraisers, falling to a 9-round deficit. And that was all about Strux and Tarson there. I said they'd be tested a couple times if Hellraisers wanted to go for something alternate, and they do, and they stand up to the test.
Huge performance from Penta. This is incredible to watch. We've had 2 games in theory on paper go the wrong way, if you want to look at it like that, or certainly if you're a fan of the underdogs, having a great night, but still. 10-1, it's still, if Hellraisers pick up all of the remaining rounds, it's not the end of the world. However, they need to kind of start doing that fast. Now, once again, presence at long early on. Spitty has a great supporting flash coming out. And again, Penta reading the play well, but Kucha this time does find Strux. Schneider has the challenge. He's going to win that out. And now it's down to Crystal, who misses the shot. This shouldn't go his way, but he does get the one. He gets the second Crystal. Insane stuff. Again, towards long. They're just not giving anything up here.
But he's going to have to hot-foot it towards A, because Kucha and Styko are already here, and it is a 2v2. Tarson has been sort of drawn across the map, but he's had to be careful about how quickly he rotates, and rightly so now as Kucha and Styko move
Tarson's
through
got
mid.
the cross.
There's not going to be enough there, unfortunately. One will be a decent amount, of course, for the man now, having to trade into that one, and Crystal will draw himself all the way around from long. The 1v1, Styko now at least gets the bomb down for Hellraisers, and that's more than they've generally been able to achieve here in these last few. Good positioning from Tarson now. I like it when players don't make that rotate too early, when they're still thinking about the other possibilities. At least got one in mid.
Oh, Styko's challenging. What on earth is he doing? And he wins it! How the hell can you do a leaping shot like that and still win out? I don't know, but he does in the end close down. And Hellraisers again, their B play seeming to work out a little better than their short and long pushes and get their second round on the board.
I mean, it's one way to cut down the possibilities of where a CT on the retake might come from.
True.
Is to challenge him. I guess he probably had some info as well that Crystal was already tagged up and fancied his chances, but that's a very ballsy play from him. Yeah,
really, really ballsy. But looking at this, Oscar's kind of lacking a little bit of that rifle there. But once again, out and long we go. This was a big defining factor here. The long play, Schneider and Oscar do get held up, which does allow Spitty and Crystal to back away.
All right, Tabson now will just be holding on that corner there, and they're actually not aggressing, they're not challenging for long this time, and Hellraisers now have to sort of resort to a plan B. They were probably hoping to pick up a few kills as they sort of rushed out here. And Schneider and Oscar still maybe asking the question of Penta, are you going to offer us up anything on that silver platter? But not going to oblige. You can see Tabson just sitting on car very patiently here as well. Penta making an adjustment to the way they roll out here on CT side, and so far it seems to have worked out. 3 players though, of course for Hellraisers here, just grouped up on short. And Schneider is in pit, so they might still persist with this A, but it's about gaining information elsewhere. You can see the Strux and Spitty have good control of CT.
See, and to me, this looks like it's going to be a slow play towards A. Oscar and Styko can kind of pressure mid a little bit, but having Schneider in pit means that you're more than able to start working towards it. It's a great addition. He can just slowly be a real nuisance here. Crystal's still looking towards short. Spitty has caught off Oscar, so they're trying to sell this kind of B play, but I don't think Penta's having any of it. They aren't keeping their eyes torn towards it, but Crystal there does find one, but does instantly fall. Tabson and Spitty create the crossfire, and Schneider was just a little bit too late to the party, and he gets found in the end. Tabson turns, and again, Tabson with the 3K. This man is the MVP if I've ever seen one.
I took a real interest in
He's almost
Penta.
got a 30 ball on one half.
On one half. It's like Device the other night. Crazy. I've taken a real interest in Penta actually since they reformed after failing to qualify for Cluj, and I got to see their first game in the Pro League, which is really good at following along. And honestly, like, they started off strong, almost like a honeymoon period kind of thing, and the last few results have been kind of average, but this is just excellent. But how much is it because Penta are great, and how much is it because Tabson is just doing so much work and winning all those battles? I'll digress now as Schneider tries to push aggressively. Kusha was there with him, I think, and Tabson will be able to respond. So 1-for-1, but here's the push on towards long, and it's working out. Kusha there gets his second with a Tech 9. Crystal got to be pushing up here. I don't think he actually let that Molotov go. He actually opted to pick up the weapon, got rid of the AWP here, trying to spray on the cross. Doesn't get anything, but Spitty at least picks up Angel.
Yeah, and it's Spitty doing work from long. He's going to catch out too in the end, really weaken what Hellraisers have to work with. Molly towards side is going to force Oscar out of position. He has to make the move, and that's right into the eyes, or at least it was, of Tarsin. Oscar, That P250 is looking a little more dangerous as we speak, and he tagged up Crystal, but not quite enough to take him down. And again, Penta keep Hellraisers at bay.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of cut myself off there as the action started happening, but there is some serious potential here as well. The issue is, like, you have guys like Crystal as well, who have given me literally some of the biggest plays that I've ever seen. Some ridiculous, just stupid stuff. Not always in top level matches either.
Crystal has such a high skill ceiling. I love him on the AWP. He's a really big player to watch.
But it's the consistency with which that play is sort of applied here. He's had a fine game as well, don't get me wrong. In fact, all of Penta have as well. I have more faith in this lineup than any I reckon I've seen from Penta in quite some time. This is a great game as well, but you know, what are your thoughts on Hellraisers here if we have a look at how they've been playing? Because coming off that case map looking so strong, this is, well, it looks like night and day.
Oh, it is night and day. The difference one man can make, and Speedy's aggression is just going to pay dividend. And look at Crystal, going to catch out Schneider, and Speedy was already predicting the player on long. That was Angel, but he didn't see him. He backs away, makes it out.
Crystal now in CT. Smoke is up there as well. So that might even have been Hellraisers almost trying to fake some sort of mid to B, or at least force Penta, maybe even to force them to push long and try some sort of flank, because they're sitting back with Angel there as well. He was playing a bit of a pivot with that scout. Oscar has an AWP, by the way, as well, so not exactly the ideal sort of setup here. There's no more smokes left as well for Hellraiser, so they're just going to do it the old-fashioned way, and Crystal's going to meet Oscar as he tries to push out into mid, and that avenue of approach has definitely been denied for Hellraisers.
And even Crystal playing from kind of CT, kind of coming back towards A ramp, he's been doing just as well. He can get overwhelmed here, which is the only problem. He is still running that AWP, so it's fairly easy to, and Kuch is going to find Tabson, which removes the man on the side, but somehow Crystal snuck through. He catches out Kucha, and it's going to be an easy setup for Speedy to close it down, and Penta giving us a massive performance.
13-2 half here on Dust 2. I mean, you know, we talk about this being the quintessential scrum map for a lot of teams as well. Just that one that they always love to slog it out on. Hellraisers, you know, they should have a decent Dust 2 in their repertoire, whether it's with stand-ins or without them, but Penta are just showing us some beautiful CSGO here. I personally would just love to see this more frequently. It's probably I make no secret of the fact that I enjoy watching German CS a hell of a lot. But, you know, I'd like to see this a bit more often here. This is a good start for them. And this is them stunting Hellraisers' possible sort of charge up the ladder. And this actually might put Hellraisers in potentially compromising situations as the season starts to wind up and they're still sitting towards the bottom of that ladder.
All right. So this is, Hellraisers can't afford to lose this pistol round flat out. It's as simple as that. Sure, they can maybe turn the following one, but no. This has to start now. If Penta pick this up, and I feel it's going to Glock train it somewhere, just I worry for them in this one, and this was meant to be their chance of getting a really clean game, and you'd say, you know, against Titan or Na'Vi, they were the tough ones, but now Penta showing us what they got. It's a big play towards B. 4 players there, they're going to make for the challenge, and Tarsi's going to find Schneider. How the hell did he get that?
I'm not sure. Hellraisers now just have to hold on. Smoke is out in front. It was a very quick response from Hellraisers, actually. They boosted 2 players up, but they both dropped down, or at least one of them has as well. Now Styko is forced to just try and keep tabs on what's happening in tunnels, but he's going to gain no information by glancing in that way. It might be a longer flank for him. He shouldn't get too far away. He's just checking for the back player, potential push towards A, because Hellraisers have had to split themselves quite thinly over the map. But Penta, let them take them time here as well. They're happy to let Hellraisers think whatever the heck they want.
All right, let's see what we can do. Spitty's already waiting. As Tabson finds Angel. I don't know how they're finding these kills. They hadn't even made the pusher, and Tabson finds another. What on earth is going on here? Hellraisers have just crumbled. Yeah,
this is a very, very interesting pistol round here. Tabson is continuing to just give us such good plays here. Bomb goes down. Styko is in CT here. He will at least get Strux as a consolation, but he's got to push up. Crystal, Tabson will both be there to meet him, and that will be that. And that should really, honestly, be the game if Penta can just hold on here. I mean, I have had minimal doubts watching this game about their anti-eco ability, especially against Hellraisers in this situation. I mean, Angel with 2 kills in 16 rounds as well. That's a really telling sign from him, who in the last map was instrumental.
I really don't know what to make of this. This has just been one of those games where it's so hard to kind of play into in a way. It's Penta just individually playing well. Hellraiser's not having an individual stand out, and Schneider's been that man quite consistently, but now they have to deal with a threat. Oscar shows a little bit of magic there on towards long, but here come the rifles, and here comes Tabson.
Tabson will get one there. Psycho's been drawn over towards A to assist, and Schneider's on the flank here as well. So Tarson, cleverly enough, he's actually watching that long house. He's almost expecting Schneider to push through. Psycho's being pressured heavily as well on that A side, and Penta are good right now. They've got good cover. Tarson is astutely watching behind him, and he just takes down Schneider so easily. Penta now opening things up so beautifully, and this is the same we saw last round. They got 2 early kills, and they just sat on it. They just let Hellraisers think whatever they wanted to, and then they're happy to mix it up, throw something into the pot here. Psycho will be watching mid. He's only got 7 health here as well, so he really just wants to gain some information and maybe skip off to B side if he does see Penta come across the face of him. There we go. So does see that. He's not sure where they're going though, and that's the issue. And Penta are happy to keep sort of trying to put some disillusion and uncertainty towards Hellraisers.
Yeah, I don't know how much this is going to change now, though. Crystal's going to find Kuja, and it's just Angel and Styko left alive, but I assume they're both watching this cross. With 4 players, there's a gap in the smoke, so maybe that scout could get the tag there. Not going to get it. Tarson's crossed. He's safe. Styko going to do something, but the scout's going to get ripped to pieces, and Penta move on to 15 rounds.
Well, hard to doubt them at this stage as well. You saw Hellraisers go for like a 2-player sort of 5-7 aggressive push on long, hoping to get one. It doesn't really work, obviously, into that sort of stack setup. They had to sort of turn tower run very, very quickly. One of them got caught. They tried to sort of cut them off with a flank, but Schneider was unfortunately gunned down very, very easily as well. So this is Hellraisers now with pretty much nothing. They've got the scout. They've got a few grenades as well. Styko, great opening here on towards Spitty.
Yeah, that's a little different. That's a switch up here. But look at this again. Penta just straight out on B. On A. Schneider tried to play out of B. Tarsin just meets him at the door, waves hello, and Kuja's gonna have to back up here. He looks like if Penta keep kind of, let's say, pressing the issue down long, they're gonna have a good game at this. But Oscar's creeping up behind.
Tarson constantly lurking as well in the middle of the map, so he can create opportunities for Penta if he does actually find those shots. But here's Oscar as well. Oh my god, Strux just gets taken down as well. The second shot towards Crystal. He didn't even see the bullet coming before his head was taken off with it there, and Kusha is getting involved as well. These diggers working out very, very nicely for Hellraisers right now, and Tapson is on just 13 health. He has to back away from that nade, and Oscar actually was damaged up by the one sent in response here. 5 health for him. Angel's still healthy. 2 of them have AKs as well, so plenty to work with here. Tapson's just going to go for something. They've got 2 players, super low percentage situation to come out on top in, especially with that low health, and that's going to be Hellraisers to get their 3rd round of the match, and if I'm not mistaken, it's their 1st of this half.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so how far can this go now? This is the thing. How far can they take this? So, good work there from Oscar with the double. Did make a big difference, and Styko obviously kicking things off in mid. That second, he should not have been able to get.
You gotta love a good off-angle flick with the deagle, don't you?
Oh, yeah. But still, here we go. Hellraisers now have the money, they have the guns, and it's Penta who's on the back foot. So this shouldn't be as quickly over now. This should be Hellraisers starting to build back into this game, but Penta are still on match point. That's the dangerous part here, but only Tarsin running with that armor, flashed through mid, and really didn't work out very well. Oh, Schneider.
Wow, not one of those hitting. Unfortunately there. Tarsin, though, at least will present himself as a juicy morsel for Schneider to snap up. But there's Tapson as well, wants to challenge. Schneider will oblige, take him down as well. He'll make it 3. Has to go to the USP for the 4th there. So Penta just using a bit of cannon fodder to try and eliminate that one player. But there's Styko on the flank, and this one should be done here. Penta, very conservative save there. It's pretty obvious to them how far ahead they are here, and we'd hate to see another NIP situation, of course, from the other night, but it was less of a deficit, I guess, for Hellraisers than it was for Titan.
Yeah, so at least Hellraisers and Schneider do...
God help me.
Yeah, you were so close.
It was the other way around, you know what I mean.
So Schneider and Angel did go down, so at least Penta did pick up a little something there as Crystal. Watching that cross, you can see the difference it can make. He's going to catch out Angel, somehow predicting that play, and the aggressiveness through his lower B tunnels might not pay off here. Already, Penta slowing down, hitting the brakes, and waiting quite far back. Strux, though, encroaching towards Kucha.
That's right. Kucha's actually going to show his back to him as he pushes through mid. This could be costly. He takes a bit of health, and the push on from Strux, he's going to net him that one now, and that was a costly mistake for Kucha now, as Schneider's forced to hold on towards mid, and he will at least inflict some damage towards Strux here. But Penta have 3 players. They can flood on towards Schneider here at the B side. It's going to be a pop flash for the man as he pushes in towards those tunnels. He doesn't even get the 1 kill. He at least puts Tarsin low, but it's not going to be enough here. Penta pulling themselves off the B side here, back in towards tunnels. Oscar was just tapping through the smoke here. They might just try to wrap with Tarsin through mid and just make sure that they can secure every possibility here. Oscar's actually pushing tunnels aggressively. Tarsin will actually be there to meet him as well, but he wasn't able to get the shot, and that makes it the 1v2 now, especially with Oscar getting his second, rushing through those tunnels, and Crystal might challenge here as well. Obviously 2 angles, and there's Oscar through the smoke, actually it was. What? Yeah, it was through the smoke with the M4.
Jesus, Oscar. What a round. What a round to get the 3K on. Hellraiser's living to fight another day now. Defuse did come out in the end from Steiko, so Penta not being able to close it down, maybe getting a little complacent, but still, it's certainly not over yet. Hellraiser need to play the perfect game in this. You can see Oscar really bringing that big performance through for his side, literally just dragging them kicking and screaming. But still, Penta going for a little bit of a, not the biggest of force-ups, but he does the armor there.
Highly
smoke
reminiscent
to work
of
with as well.
Highly reminiscent of their earlier force-up as well, really. Nothing too fancy here. There's no need to sort of try and extend yourself for anything too big. Schneider, though, his push up mid will actually yield some results. So Hellraisers know exactly the financial situation here for Penta. They're going to exploit it as much as they possibly can, and hopefully not lose anyone. And Oscar will get that last kill to save Schneider. So Hellraisers now making this a little bit more of a respectable total for them. Got to keep their money flowing as well. At Penta, I mean, on the precipice here, they just need one more. Crystal might even fancy himself an AWP in this case, and plenty of utility here for Penta as well. Molotovs for all and sundry. Crystal has a little bit to spend as well. Won't go and helmet here. Might even just save that 950. Go glass cannon. Crystal cannon.
Crystal cannon it is. All right, let's see what you got. And we are seeing Penta once again kind of taking themselves throughout the map. Oscar, though, getting aggressive here. Such a dangerous time to be playing like this, but takes quite the nerve to go for this sort of play, and he might just have the shot there. Down towards those lower B tunnels he does, and again, making the big difference off the back of those big plays.
Yeah, good stuff from Oscar there as well. Not getting too aggressive on short, just looking for the one in tunnel. And well, we knew that Tarsin as well loved to lurk around tunnel a lot for Penta and get those kills a couple rounds ago as well. He did the same thing. And here's Spitty yet to really gain entrance to long. Oscar's actually rotated sort of all the way through there from short. So that's really hot-footed over there. And he's going to be able to pick up Spitty as well. The man is everywhere at the moment. And Penta are giving him enough time to rotate through. He's definitely getting to where the important crossroads and angles are of this map. Taps are sitting back on long, almost hoping that Oscar would actually push for it, or someone would. Penta at this stage hoping to be given an opportunity as well, but Hellraisers seem unlikely to make a mistake. Crystal expects Kusha to be here, or someone. He might even throw the smoke to draw this out. Interesting smoke there, not really sure. It doesn't cover a lot of that B ramp, to be honest. Slow and steady wins the race, so Crystal does get Angel. I think he was up in that window. Now we have 25 seconds left.
And so where are you going to take this one? Strux is trying to bait out towards shore a little bit here. The bomb is going over towards B, though. This is a fake out. Oscar keeping eyes on that. Schneider's going to put down the molly just to buy time, but Penta, I can imagine, might just go through this. They've only got 10 seconds here. They need to make a move and make it fast. And 8 seconds now. They're running out of time to make it to that bomb site. Crystal's going to find Kucha, but time is against them. They can't get the bomb plant anymore, and Schneider puts them out of their misery. And got to say, Hellraiser's starting to look a little more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, a few rounds in the bag for them. Can't really be complaining. It's 5 in a row for them. Penta obviously soon to be receiving a little bit of that extra cash, of course, for losing those rounds here. But they would have liked to have had this one wrapped up already. Hellraiser's done well. It was almost a 16-2, you know, and that would have been just not a good result. You look at that on paper and think, that's a fair dinkum slapping. But this time might be a little bit of a different case here as we get our lovely little HLTV lag that we often get. But taking stock here as well, Kusha looks like he wants to push towards long for a pick, but he's going to have a lot of Penta players descending on his position in a matter of moments.
Yeah, Kucha could be overwhelmed pretty easily here. The smoke on the side will at least give him some room to back away unless he fully commits to this, which could be an issue as the smoke actually dissipates.
It's quite interesting how that works here. It doesn't just stop completely. Some game aspects still persist there.
There we go. All right, we're back underway. Kucha kind of going again. Schneider's going to find 2, though, as it's just down to Tarsin and Strux. And there we go. With the smoke still in place, of course, the GoTV kind of bugging out there. It means the Hellraisers will take it to 8-15. But how long can this last, Mitch? Who knows? Oh.
I think the astute few of us probably know exactly what GoTV lag means.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so Oscar and Kusha, the double AWP set up here for Hellraisers. Kusha didn't really yield too many results in that last round here, but still, it does give them a lot more control over this map here as Crystal fancied something down towards mid. But interestingly enough here, it's Oscar that's gone towards B, taps on the challenger Schneider on long, and this is going to force Kusha back again. Not the first time he's actually been forced to abort that position. Looking in towards Longhouse. Great early pick here for Hellraisers as well. Schneider, of course, a player who's been giving them some issues as well, along with Oscar in recent rounds. And Penta have managed to establish at least a small foothold on long. But this is Oscar here as well, trying to work through mid. He was at B early, and he's rotated his way across. Tarsin's still in tunnels. Still doing that lurker sort of role there, hoping to open something up. And Crystal actually looping back around to join him.
They're going for B. They took down Schneider earlier. I guess why not give it a try? But then again, Schneider was playing towards A, but then I guess they're trying to work out, okay, well, where's the weaker site then? Where can we exploit this?
Penta wasn't challenged in mid by an AWPer, so they figured that it would have been Oscar splitting, of course, with Kusha over A and B. So at least they knew that there was one less sort of to deal with here if they worked towards B, especially with that first pick on towards Schneider. So only Oscar and Kusha left now, just two men with two AWPs. And make it one now as Oscar tries to work out from that little window. And after getting Tapson, it is going to be Penta to take that one away. And it looked like it was going to be a heck of a lot more convincing than it ended up being. But nonetheless, Penta definitely stopping Hellraisers in their tracks after an excellent first game.
I've got to say, Tapson, you know, that guy, did he drop a 30 on one side? I'm not sure. Might have been like 28.
Not quite.
I've just been below. But absolutely massive play from him. Penta, you know, as you said on paper, these guys shouldn't have been able to be as prolific. Hellraisers had a decent track record and Dusty, a little bit up and down, but overall picked up some good wins. We saw them looking good in their first game. How the hell did they manage to lose out so badly in the second? I just don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm no expert, but Angel getting 2 or 3 frags for the entire map is probably not a good sign.
Help.
Yeah.
No, not going to help. But bear in mind, their night's not over. They've still got one more opponent on the chopping board, which is Na'Vi. And I guess I don't even want to think about like how things line up anymore, because in theory this game should have been theirs, and the one prior probably should have been a tougher challenge. But still, Hellraisers have got another chance at this tonight to maybe get a 2-1, look to keep themselves positive here, but still for Penta that was massive and a huge performance from Tabs, and he can be proud with that one. But guys, once again, if you want to get a little bit more of information about the matches coming up today, do head over to the Score Esports to find out everything we have available about these matches, and even catch up on the other ones as well, just past.
Yeah, and do check out, of course, for the articles that come out every week. The hot match of the week is always something that you should sort of look towards as well. There's a good little write-up as well, gives you guys a bit of an insight as well, especially if you're quite invested in the result. I'm very interested to see how that one goes. I always give it a read before we jump into that one as well.
So yeah, if it's Mitch approved, it's us approved, and you guys should check it out anyway. So anyway, before we get into the next one, let's give Hellraisers a little bit of a break, because I think they might need to have a little bit of a sit back after that game. So guys, we're going to go to a short break, but when we're back, it's going to be Hellraisers up against Na'Vi.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters.
Delta touch the babysitting gets it! Oh, it's beautiful! Exists. 2 kills could never be so important. Gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's just gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny F. What a kill! And then he gets the second! Kenny F. punches around!
There's the first kill, there's the second kill. Are you joking? name is JW.
This is Maniac.
I am Shroud and I play ECS.
And I play on the ECA.
And I play on ASC.
And welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. We are getting ourselves ready for the next trial for Hellraisers, let's say. They've had quite the test today. Come out on top in one, fell rather short in the other, and now they've got Na'Vi.
Yeah, and it's
And
Na'Vi
I'm
on
joined by
train
you,
as well.
actually. I should say that.
Hi,
It's not
by the
Mitch
way.
anymore.
Woo! I'm not Aussie.
Thank
We've just
God.
caged him briefly.
Yeah.
We'll let him out probably towards the end of the show.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Of course, we've shackled him. Basically, it's what you got to do when there's Aussies loose in the studio. But yes, Na'Vi on train as well. Not a bad record for them overall. 12-11 wins. Hellraisers actually have a better record, 14-12. But I mean, it is Na'Vi again, and as you say, this is Hellraisers, a very different Hellraisers. Sadly, quite a lot of changes. But Oscar, it has been a bit of a shining light for them since he's come in there,
and especially with the AWP, we saw him really showing some big plays. Even in that last game, even though they lost it, he did start finding some form with the AWP. So if maybe they can get that into his hands, you could see something there.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see how it works out for them because last game wasn't great. Schneider is playing for them, which is
so. It's hard to judge him.
We don't know how to make of this right now because he's left Dignitas, but now he's playing with Hellraisers. I don't know what's going on
weird
right now.
Weird lineup choice. But to be fair though, him as an individual, this is what I was saying to Mitch, it's him as an individual, he's not been playing bad, but I don't know how he really fits into a team dynamic. You know what I mean? There's
a team of Ukrainians.
Yeah.
It's not really...
and he was saying before that the language barrier was an issue for him. It's like, are you good right now? Like, does this help?
Yeah, was a problem with Danish, so he goes to Ukrainians.
Yeah. Don't know.
No.
Don't know.
We're still waiting for them to ready themselves up. You can see they're having a bit of fun right now, just bouncing around. Knife round will be getting underway in a moment. If you have just joined us, Na'Vi are actually in a very good position league-wise. I think it's around about 11-6. I think they're 11-5, 11-6. I'm going to double-check.
It wouldn't be far from that because they did kind of work their way up towards that top 3. I think they're on the top 4 currently.
11-5.
Oh,
very
so
good position. Very good position. So they're third place at the moment, just behind TSM and Fnatic. TSM, of course, with their win yesterday. Very impressive win over Virtus Pro and TSM and Envy. Sorry, very good wins overall for them. So solid stuff. Envy going to be playing later on. They're only 7-6. They're the other team that we had to shoot in to try and get that third place. But Na'Vi are looking good.
Yeah, and the thing with Na'Vi is they've got 16 games played, yet they're ahead of the other teams with around the same marker. You know, excluding your Fanatics, they're a good chunk of points ahead of the rest, so that's a really good sign for them. But then again, you know, we've got to see how they play. They've got to pick up games like this. This on paper should be a fairly, I hate saying easy game, but it should be on paper for them. But then again, Hellraisers against Titan should have gone that way, but then Titan had a stand-in. It's very hard to judge these teams currently, but still. The last time I looked at Na'Vi, it was against TSM, really, and that was the one that really stood out to me, was their play on train, and it was their T side that was the most impressive. I'm not sure if they could find that now. You can still see Lamed is in the roster, so he only slips into the coach role when required. But yeah, I'm not sure if they can find that sort of form here, because I just don't know if that's really there for them. But if they're showing that they have some dominance on the T side, that's a great sign, especially for this map.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, Hellraisers weren't too bad the other day. I'm trying to think what game it was they played. I can't think. It was 2 or 3 days ago now. But that was when Oscar shined for me. Styko actually did pretty well, who I can see at the moment with the AWP, just got picked out of the air by Seized. But they did well. They have been a good team. Na'Vi, you were talking about, I remember seeing them, I think it must have been that TSM game. Was I casting with you? It probably was the same game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I remember Taz having some pretty impressive matches on here as well. But yeah, Guardian was pretty big in that game. Zeus has actually been kind of underperforming as of late in the last few games I've casted. Maybe it's just the games I've seen, who knows? You never know what these guys are sandbagging when it comes to majors just a week away.
Yeah, it's hard to judge. I think that's the main thing. And Na'Vi are certainly in a position to do well at the kind of bigger tournaments. But then again, they can't take anything too lightly. They're still in a good position within this league, but you don't want to start losing out games to, you know, the caliber of Hellraisers who are looking for those come-up games like this where they can catch people out. But yeah, the last game for me, and Edward as well, actually, I want to kind of give a little bit of light to him. He's been starting to find a little more form in the last couple of games, just here and there, just these kind of big moments coming through, but still, we are live into the knife, and this is quite an important one.
It is. It's all about the CT side start, and more importantly, how many rounds they can get on that T side. It is generally the tougher one. Good pistol to start with will all set them in good stride, but it looks like it's going to be Hellraisers that come out on top, so expect to see them starting over on the CT. Already made that switch. Here we go. Right, pistol round of the way. Let's see what they pick up here. Will it be the standard Navi train? They normally go in towards B site. Now we saw
With
this.
the molly.
Yes, exactly the same style of play. Now the problem is, I think it was against DSM. I think it was DSM, but they read them like a book. They knew exactly what Navi were doing, and that's obviously, like we said, if we know what they're doing, generally the pro teams absolutely know what they're doing. Let's see if they do the same. Looks like it's going to be a change of pace.
Yes, it does. There's no molly to be seen on Na'Vi.
Okay.
They might go for something similar, but you can see Hellraisers are not necessarily reading directly into this, but they're certainly keeping it in mind with 3 players towards that B side. But Guardian already moving Angel might make this a possibility again, and there's 3 players cleaned up back to back. Na'Vi lose out on Zeus, but that's about it, leaving just Oscar alive.
Guardian getting himself a second. Oscar, as you say, did come around the back, but does get dealt with. And Na'Vi pick themselves up a fairly clean round overall. Just losing Zeus there, so they're going to be happy with that one. Hellraisers, that puts them on the breadline. They're going to be stuck onto an eco of some variety, maybe even a full eco. No, they are going to go a couple of 5-7s.
Yeah, you can see the CZ for Kucha as well, with the head armor. Deagle coming in.
Standard Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Second round, get those AKs.
Yeah, Na'Vi don't mess around. You know, the UMP, I always kind of almost call it a rifle these days. You can still utilize it at a fair, decent bit of range. So even though classed as an SMG, it does have its kind of his upcoming. So let's see what it can bring here, as that's going to be in the hands of Seized. But outside of that, Hellraiser's looking towards an A stack, putting a lot of players there, and it reads in well towards a team coming in with rifles. You know they'd probably take these sort of fights, and Guardian and Flamey win out.
Misread that situation. Angel tried to adjust. He went over to B with the scout, and it's A side that they're hitting. Now he's coming out in towards that Z connector, but he's already been spotted, and that scout effectively useless. And wow, C's manages to pick him off through the smoke as well. Bomb plant not even going to go down. Guardian's got the bomb, but he's heading off into Pop Dog. He wants to look for kills. He finally, I think the team's just like, will he plant that bomb for Christ's sake? Styko's going to be the man that drops into Pop Dog. Zeus is ready and waiting for him.
Yeah, Styko is the only one there. And he's looking for Zeus to come up here, but Zeus just turned at the wrong time, and Styko will punish him. Gonna find the AK.
Run.
He's running the hell out of there. He knows that as well. He's gonna try and play it calm.
Oh,
Goes
C's
that
coming.
little cheeky spam, but Seized wants to take it out of his hands.
He's got the position. He should be able to track him down here. As long as his footsteps don't get in my way. And yeah, he's going to just dodge to the side. Judge, I don't know where that came from. The Judge don't budge. Going back a few years, Judge Jules. But anyway, nobody outside of England has a
Jesus.
clue what I'm on about.
And of a certain generation as well.
All right.
That's even pushing
Keep
me.
it down, youngster. Navi versus Hellraisers. Let's focus on that one. 2-0.
Now let's go back to your
It was
topic of
great
Judge
in his
Jules.
day, if you don't mind, on BBC Radio 1.
Hey, I've got a lot of time for Judge Jules, but, you know, that's of yesteryear. But let's go back to today's sort of games and see if they're going to be setting up that early smoke and flash. Going to allow Edward the chance to move out, and Guardian actually going to already pistol whip down Angel. So Hellraisers falling apart. This is the cleanest eco I've seen in a long time.
Schneider's going on a full wrap around here, but Seized is ready and waiting for him. Yeah, we'll cut him down. And now it's Kucha and Styko. Edward's just off to the side. Guardian will get the plant down over on B side. It's going to be Edward, though, that will find himself one. Doesn't get the second. Styko will get himself a singular kill in there, but that's all it's going to be. And it's another 3-0. Not a lot of kills coming in here for Hellraisers in these opening few rounds. Just, what, 4 overall, and they're both on Styko and Oscar, so not the greatest. They can afford to buy themselves right back into this one, though. It is their first rifle round. Let's see what they can do with it. Oscar on the AWP.
Yeah, the glass cannon, and bear in mind, Guardian does have his AWP as well, so this is a bit of a test between the two. I'm curious if they actually go for the head-to-head challenge. I can imagine maybe Oscar not feeling that, but he is actually on the CT side, going to be holding out towards A main, looking for that push-in, but already the rest of Na'Vi not really fancying that. Seized has the bomb, so not committed really anywhere, but you are seeing that push towards B. Angel on the receiving end.
They're going fast in there. Angel trying to look away, but already been caught out, and Guardian takes down Schneider the second he shows himself through connector. And this is bought time to Flamey. He's creeping in. He's going to find Oscar if he's not careful. Oscar's going to pass on by straight in front of him. And there goes that glass cannon, or Flamey's going to collect that one if they need it. Just Styko and Kucha. Kucha all the way back. Zeus is going to be creeping around on him, but Kucha will find him. Flamey's managed to get the last man. They know that he's stuck in CT spawn. They're just going to collapse on his position. And again, just 1 man lost for Na'Vi overall. Make it 2. As Kucha does find himself another. Flame is going to challenge, gets himself a 3rd. Nicely done, Kucha. Make him pay. There's more kills than they've got so far, almost in the entire game. Fortunately for him, though, it's Na'Vi. They're going to take it 4-0.
Yeah, and Guardian going to retain the AWP. Edward going to keep his rifle, and they can certainly rebuy. Look at that money on Seized and Flamey already. A lot of money built up, and on the other side of things, Hellraiser's not really in the position to buy here. They can get the deagles, the nades, maybe a CZ if they fancy it, but it's not going to pay out much, as we're seeing Na'Vi just punish them time and time again. Last time they knew they were up against a bit of a more, a slightly poorer side of Hellraisers, they did go for that play towards A, but we are seeing a slight difference here. Edward splitting over towards B, going to head down pop though, and they're looking for the challenges.
Yeah, they've gone fast out, Na'Vi style, as you would expect. No respect. You have to force it out of Na'Vi, and at the moment they are just pushing on towards these deagles. Now, can Oscar try and make them pay for it? No, they can't. Styko and Angel getting picked to pieces. And now Guardian has just as many kills as the entire Hellraisers team.
Yeah, and Na'Vi looking unflinching in that one. As you said, looking very dominant. Now, this is a big buyout from Hellraisers. This is one they can actually afford a bit of utility. Oscar actually can get armor with that orb. He can start to support himself a little more, but still, that hasn't been the issue. They've just never had the chance to actually get these kills. The execution from Na'Vi has been pretty flawless. And already, let's see what they go for this round. So, Flamey and C's going to be heading up towards Ivy. Cooch is on the other end there. 4 players from Hellraisers keeping eyes towards A.
Nade bouncing in does catch Flamey, but only a little bit of damage on him. Styko's going to be pushing his position now, and Edward was around the corner, but he's backing away. I don't think Styko's going to go too aggressive on this one. Guardian just covering off over Brown Halls, and Kucha keeping his eye on Ivy. Flamey and C's sat at Ivy, actually got eyes on there. Schneider got himself a little peek, but smokes it up. Doesn't want to risk it.
No, and Styko's looking a little bit, trying to get a bit more an aggressive angle, but...
Is Guardian about to creep around? He is.
Yeah, Guardian very aggressive from Pop here, looking like he wants to find Schneider, who's the man who he could possibly catch out on top of the train. Sitting back, in between train 1 and 2. Now he's got Zeus with him. And they're looking like they want to get those flashes going. Guardian trying to find the challenge there, but Zeus ready to back him up. Great little duo, as we are seeing the one man who was holding them back, Styko, does at least find Edward. And that bomb is in Flamey's hand, so they can't push it out just yet. And Styko gets another. That's massive.
He's gone for the reload. Now he's going to find Flamey if he comes around this corner, but Flamey ready and waiting with that bomb. Now time is ticking. 25 seconds on that clock. Cease wandering in. Kucha just off to his side. He's going to see Oscar draw his attention towards him. Does find one. Guardian gets the second. All the information they needed. And now it's all on Angel. And as you said, this was a very important rifle round for Hellraisers. If Na'Vi were to close this one out 6-0, real serious problems already beginning to develop for Hellraisers. This is a CT-sided map, don't forget. Or, well, ordinarily, in theory, it should be a CT-sided map. But if your economy is in tatters, which Hellraisers will be, it really makes it tricky to try and hold those sites.
And I want to see Hellraisers make... I know they've not really had the money to do this, but play a little further ahead. I think back to the likes of Forest, always pushing up by train 1, pushing further towards A main. I kind of want to see that, but Angel will at least catch out C. So not the cleanest around for Na'Vi, but around regardless, and that's the main thing at the moment. As said, their economy is going to be pretty strong after the amount of rounds they've had back-to-back here, just building up and building up and building up, as you can see. Most over 10k now. Edward just below, but not by much. But for Hellraisers, this is a worrying sign. They've not really been able to stop what Na'Vi's been doing. The only time that they've been challenging is towards the late part of the round, with maybe the retakes, maybe the couple of challenges there. And when Oscar went down on the site, it was just all over and done with. But let's see what they can bring. Again, it's all about when does Hellraiser switch something up? Do they go for a little bit of a faster play? This is what I want to see. Schneider being a little more aggressive. I'm hoping this might pay off here. Oscar's looking to push through the smoke as well. But Schneider already shot down, has removed one of those aggressive parts. But Oscar perfectly waiting.
He only had a pistol, that's all he needed to do. 5-7, ready and waiting, straight to the dome. Picks himself up an AK, but...
This is what I wanted. Look at Styko's position as well. He's pushed up further. This is what I want to see from Hellraisers. Not letting Na'Vi get so much control, but then if Guardian's pulling that off, what can you do?
I mean, the problem is, though, that Styko did the same thing last round, so they were almost expecting it. And it does catch them. But Oscar managed to rescue that AK, get himself a second kill as well on Guardian. So now the orb down. That's forced Edward to push on through that molly. I don't think he's going to realise it, but he will find an easy head. And now Oscar, with 3 for the round, seized is all the way down in the back there of 1. And he surely had eyes on Oscar there. Meanwhile, we do see that's going to be Zeus making his way through. Angel finds him, and suddenly Hellraisers looking to close this round out from... really what was effectively a force. They did, of course, have a bunch of rifles. Oscar didn't. He's rescued himself an AWP for this round. It's a great round for Oscar.
Yeah, C's looking to maybe make it a little bit more costly, but with that bomb so far away, he knows he's out of time here, so just looking to do the damage he can. Kucha is probably going to be the main man to look for, but somehow He didn't even take a piece of damage then. I don't know how C's didn't manage to land a single shot, but still, that is the case, and I like that from Hellraiser. A little more aggressive on all fronts. Schneider pushing up failed, but then the rest paid off. Oscar being one of them there as well.
Oscar's aggression on Ivy, then straight away aggression on towards top of train.
Yep.
Caught them out. So Na'Vi, of course, can rebuy. We did mention they had like 10,000 plus, the majority of them, barring Edward. So they can afford to get themselves right back into this one. Flame is going to want the man that challenges down, but look how cautious Na'Vi are already being. They're not going to be pushing on Ivy. They got caught napping, but Guardian is tested and tried out by Oscar. But Zeus is going to come on through and we'll find Angel. A little too aggressive there. Schneider. Is Schneider coming up behind them? Is he going to go through Pop Dog? I feel like he has. Schneider's coming around the back of him. If we could get a look at him, it would be beautiful. And there he is. It's going to be an easy 2 for him. Kind of whiffed it a little bit there. Should have had both, but Zeus does get a little lucky.
All right, so Zeus probably needs to fall back here. I'm not sure how they want to play this. They've got options, but there's still Kucha holding down by Ivy. C's is looking for that challenge, but do they really want to take on Oscar at the moment? The bomb's still further back by the T-spawn. They've got 50 seconds here. Styko pushed up by A main. Hellraisers are in quite the aggressive positions, but holding. They're holding the angle, so it's going to be hard work. Now Flamey, getting ahead across. He's picked up the bomb.
Styko's position there. He heard Flamey run and pick up the bomb and back away, which has put Styko in a great position, but unfortunately Flamey's going to find him.
Again, Flamey reading Styko like a book. It's time and time again. Yeah, rinse and repeat. They've got to understand that maybe Kucha's still here. Oscar was on B. They can put together the information, but C's finally pushing up from Ivy is going to just close in on Hellraisers. With 20 seconds left, though, Na'Vi need to find this final kill towards Oscar. He is turreting it out on the bomb, and Zeus makes light work of him there and picks up his third. So Na'Vi, again, their T side is relentless.
3 kills for Zeus, and just think, Schneider was right up behind him. Could have been a very big difference for that round, no doubt about it. But Hellraisers, unfortunately, back on some sort of a mishmash. Oscar has got himself an AWP. The rest of the team are not quite on the same wavelength. There's going to be a scout for Schneider, CZ for both Angel and Kucha, and a Mag 7 for Styko. How is this mishmash of a buy going to work out for them? Styko actually going aggressive. I think Styko's looking to come straight up here.
But
he's going to eat a grenade, though, if he does.
Angel's right amongst 3 players as well. He's got Guardian right in front of him. Angel's actually going to choose to back away here as Edward toying with Pop. He's not feeling that, though. And once again, it's going to come down to Angel and Oscar. Oscar already predicting this B presence. He's going to head through. He's the player down the end there. You can see possibly challenging out. Guardian's going to set up the flash. Going to look to kind of negate Angel's position, but he's going to be the man to receive it all. Here comes the rest of the T side. Oscar meets one, takes him down, but Angel falls, and that means that B is open.
And I think that's just put a real big question for Na'Vi. They're thinking, how have they got an AWP? How is this possible? It doesn't matter because Guardian pins him on the wall, and that will be bomb planted. Kucha's the man that's trying to creep in, while the rest of the team try and get around the back. It's Schneider once again,
Edward.
but Edward gets himself another. It's a triple for him in the round, and 8-1 now for Na'Vi. Great T-side building here.
And Edward just seeing that buy then, he's like, guys, they can't afford anything.
Yep.
He just looked down the floor, saw the scout, the Mag 7, he's like, 2k max, maybe. And these guys know the game inside out, let's be honest. Na'Vi are your thinking man's team. If you like a team that's tactically based, that don't buy into the cheesier plays, this is it. And already 8-1 up, showing some real prowess on their T side that not many others can replicate. I've got to say that. And it doesn't necessarily matter about the opponent either. They're able to keep this sort of form against most. But now Hellraisers are near on the cleanest of ecos. Those are the P250 there with Angel. And it's going to be the bulldozer just kind of coming through, which is Na'Vi.
Yeah, you see how fast both Guardian and Zeus went down Pop Dog there. No cares were given. They just flew down them stairs. Oh, Caesar's actually team killed Guardian. I don't think he's been too pleased about that. Hopefully somebody rescues that AWP from his body. There we go. Just about seized at the end, trying to find it. 9-1 though for Na'Vi. Bank still pretty huge for everyone on the Na'Vi team, and Hellraisers just about cobbling together some rifles, but near nothing on the utility-wise. Look at that, just smoke, a couple of flashes. That is it.
And if maybe Na'Vi are keeping up with this, they're going to know they can't afford the full utility. So if they bait out these smokes, they play a little slower, that we know Na'Vi like to do. It's going to be a hard round, but Guardian says, screw that, I want to go aggressive. And nice little boost there towards Ivy.
Yeah.
Let's see if Oscar can pull it off. He gets the tag. Nothing more. Guardian waits it out. Now, if any nades came through, they'd be in trouble. But luckily, Hellraisers cannot afford a single one.
Shots are rattling through. Look at this. Kucha and Schneider managed to find themselves 2. Flamey and Zeus, who were trying to push on through there. Now they've gone on through. They do manage to deal with it. And it's Edward once again that's leading that charge. Styko just around the corner. We're watching Guardian right now, but it's Edward that's making his way through in towards Courtyard. Styko sat on site. We'll just keep on following him, no worries. Styko is covering off. Edward with 2 already in this round. Can make it 3, and he will. Now Styko continues to track on through. Edward, can he get another? No, because Angel cuts him down. Now it's a 1-on-1.
But C's doesn't know where Styko is, and Styko's got a great little bit of an intuition there. Certainly going to understand where C's was playing. Does close down. Hellraisers finally get another one on the board. That was a long time in the making. And I don't know how they pulled it off at Ivy. It seems as though they kind of got the kills through being flashed more than anything. It was not necessarily lucky, but it wasn't what I expected. And here you can see Kucher and Schneider getting these kills. It was just like, how did they pull those off? Losing out on Flamey and Zeus so early on and getting nothing back is going to be devastating for them. But with the money built up, they can buy this round and the following if required. So, looking at Hellraisers, they've got to cobble it together once again.
Yeah, it's still far from clean rounds, and that's the problem. He may even pick the round up. Look, Angel and Schneider, they've gone so aggressive at Brown Halls here. Schneider's going to get caught out, though, but they're just running straight into his Mag 7. He gets a double. Does he realize that Angel's there? Angel gets another. Can't quite close it out, though. Doesn't get Guardian down. Styko coming in support, but Edward now going to get pushed on the other side. He gets taken down by Kucha, and Hellraisers have just picked apart Nevi's attack. Nevi?
New name, Nevi. But no, I can imagine Schneider is counting his lucky stars, but Guardian not going to go down without a fight, but it should be a pickup for Kucha here. There it is. But yeah, Schneider, even though he was flashed then, I think he picked up 2 in the end. Just kind of going at it while he could, and bearing in mind, of course, the Observer mod, or at least the Observer, the spec client, sees a lighter flashed version. You can imagine he was completely white then, so just kind of putting together and hoping that, you know, just left-clicking was going to work. But he's having a very quiet game for him, after being quite prolific previously for this side. Sitting down very much at the bottom of the scoreboard, but then again, this is Na'Vi, this is Train, this is something that they can play very well on their T side, but let's see what they can do this round.
Na'Vi, are they going to slow it down? No, Guardian's going to get a quick pick early on. But they're not pushing Brown Hall so aggressively because Hellraisers have been taking control of that one. But look at Schneider. Oscar's going to get the peek and finds Flamey's head. And now Schneider up close. Seized is actually looking to push on this one as well. Not sure if he's expecting Schneider to be just around lurking with Oscar playing the AWP role. Na'Vi have their work cut out now as they go down to 2 members. It's going to be Guardian and Edward. They have been the money makers for the team. Both got 14 kills apiece at the top of the board for Na'Vi.
But Angel's holding this. Guardian's going to have to be ready for the shot and just clear it and hope for the best because Angel is waiting so patiently for them to come over.
Can we look at Angel? Like where the action is? There we go.
There we go. He's going to get the shot on one. Doesn't get it. Follows up toward Edward. And now just Guardian live. And he spotted him out.
Yeah, and that nade's going to come around the back of him. They try and step themselves up. And that will be... Guardian gets 1. Can't quite get the second. If he's going to get the no-scope, not going to happen. Angel will take him down. 9-4. Hellraisers rescuing a few little shards of hope here as we start to close out the round. Considering it was, what, 8-1, 8-0? So, yeah, 8-1 overall. So, fantastic stuff. 9-1. Sorry, they pulled it back from.
Okay, this is different, though. Now we got the double AWP for Hellraisers. I want to see this make the impact. Schneider's been quiet. This could be his chance to get a little louder in this. And so far, he's been doing well kind of playing the cheesy roles. You know, pushing Ivy with Mag 7s and pushing up on that B ramp or Brown Halls, whatever you want to call it. I'm hoping we see more from him. So already Hellraisers taking over B quite predominantly. That's going to be Guardian meeting them with a smile. Schneider already falling. They want to make the most of this. Na'Vi quickly looking to flex into action, or at least Zeus was. He's going to get slowed down.
Guardian's been hitting openers regularly for Na'Vi. Just unfortunately, they've not really been following up too heavily on it. Now Styko, very low, does back himself away. Zeus and Angel about to find each other, and Angel had his cursor in the exact right place at the right time. Can't speak. Guardian does reply, though, on towards Angel. Don't look at me like that.
What have you and Graham been doing? I'm just going to say...
Why Graham?
Because he's just about off point as you are right now. His observing is just awful.
I only said about 3 things wrong.
Was it Nevi?
Nevi. I'm sure there's what's the damn word I'm looking for?
Oh God, don't start. You're just trying to
Well, in Natus Vincere, it means born to win, doesn't it? What's the it's not Greek, it's Latin.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a Latin meaning for...
Maybe you're just hoping there is.
For Nevi. Anyone out
I
there?
think you're just talking
Tweet
rubbish,
us.
but here we go. Oscar is going to be ready and waiting with wide open, loving arms, and he's going to receive C's first and foremostly, but Edward's going to find Steiko, so might open up a possibility towards A, but the time is certainly against Navi. They have to commit, and Oscar finds his second. He's got to expect the third. 10 seconds left. Oh my god, they think it's an A. They think it's Edward. Edward has sold the most beautiful of fakes here, and now backs away with 11 HP. Bomb is down, and Oscar is going to be left scratching his head.
Runs away, singing trollololol. Gets out of there. Oscar has got himself set up. Edward's going to be the one that peaks up high. I'm
Flamey's
not
got
too
a
sure if
volley.
Oscar's looking. Kucha's coming alongside, so Kucha's going to get the flank, but they're both coming from the same direction. Not ideal as Edward finds one and a second. Edward going huge again. He is pulling Na'Vi to victory right now. Another great round from him. Him and Guardian really stepping up. 17 kills apiece so far as we move into the final round. And this is going to be a tricky one for Hellraisers. Not a great level of cash. They're trying to spread as much as they can with those FAMASes.
Yep, you're absolutely spot on there. Not a great deal of money to be played with. Oscar can at least kind of get the AWP going, a little bit of armor there for himself, but not much more. But yes, if you're wondering who Graham is, he is the observer today, known as Delayham.
At
to the Massive.
Messioso.
At Messioso. If there's any delays in a tournament, it is his fault mostly.
Yep.
And Schneider.
Even at Clutch.
And Schneider will be waiting up to see if any of Na'Vi go there, but Oscar bringing out the sexy CS, going to just bounce in towards Zeus, knock him back, and he might have a good idea. The rest of Na'Vi are going to make a play from the back of this.
Schneider around the back of them. Once again, he did this before. This time, can he make it count? Gets himself one, steps away, and has to force them to challenge. And now they're in a real tricky situation. Surely Schneider told them where they all are. Kucha hasn't moved, though. He's sticking on A site. Doesn't matter. Gets himself another. Comes around with the USP. Can he close out Seized? Just a couple more bullets left. And no, Seized will get him down. And they managed to clear out the entire site. That's a position that Hellraisers should have won, but Na'Vi somehow come out on top. Good God.
Do you want to step away for a sec?
I need to just take a breather.
All right, so
I'm
as we saw,
distraught. Fnatic lost.
Schneider, I didn't know the CS team was playing tonight. Schneider tried so hard, he got so far, but in the end it doesn't seem to have mattered as Na'Vi do get the bomb down, and Kucha left in a 1v2.
Oh, you want to go to BlizzCon?
Maybe.
That's where they're playing.
I don't know, I haven't sold out for that Overwatch money yet, so probably not.
Yet.
Yet. Hey Blizzard.
It's going to happen soon.
Probably not.
Just a couple of days away, ladies and gentlemen. Edward's going to get taken down by Kucha. No, he's not. Because why challenge Edward when he's playing such a great game? 19 kills for him as we turn around. And it's 11-4 for Na'Vi. And as we move into the CT side, they could close this one out strong.
Yeah, they really could. But the thing is, this is what I want to point out. When Edward plays well, he is a real pleasure to watch. And this is the thing with Na'Vi, again, have such a massive skill ceiling that they could reach. Guardian has been, you know, I guess you could argue one of the top AWPers thus far. You know, your
Very
JWs, your
consistent.
KNs. That's the thing. He may not be the most flashy AWPer. He may not be the aggressive AWPing we see from your JWs, your Kennys, or anyone along those lines, or even Oscar a little bit today, at least, in this map. But he has got such consistency to his play. But then you look at Flamey, he's that kind of, he can be that real hot player, I hate saying it, but you know, he can be that player who can go off on a real hot streak, pick up so many kills for his side and be really explosive.
Living up to his name.
Yeah, exactly. Then you know, I look at Edward and he's such a classic player, and I used to love watching him. He used to be my favourite player back in the day, you know, being completely a biased caster, but it's always nice to see him playing well. Even if it's here, there and everywhere, it's like when you see those glimpses of the old Neo. It's these kind of like little throwback moments, like, and it's wonderful to watch. And I'm hoping we see more of that if he finds a little bit of, you know, real happiness within this team and finds some comfort here. But anyway, my fangirlism aside, let's start working on this.
It's the beautiful beard, isn't it? That's what gets you going.
It's quite impressive.
It is an impressive beard. It's quite impressive. But anyway, in towards the game. Here we go. Full set of armor for Hellraisers this
Glock
time
train.
around. Now I'm going to try that Glock train. Where is it going to go? Looks like Ivy's going to be the setup, which is where Zeus is awaiting. Angel's the solo man for Hellraisers. Na'Vi stack themselves out. Zeus, not too sure what he's about to get coming around this corner. Can he stop them?
Well, we're going to find out very soon. No, I think is the answer.
Oh, that
Gets
nade's
Steve
going
down.
to work, though.
Oh,
no.
not so much
Run,
damage.
run.
Zeus trying to get a little cheeky pop flash, just gets overwhelmed in time. Sees turns attention, but it looks like Na'Vi are being overwhelmed here. Hellraisers, that Glock train has not come off the rails just yet.
Guardian got one round the back. Flamey manages to cut off another, so now it's down to a 3-on-3, and they know the exact position. Oscar around Electric, trying to find angles onto Flamey, but he will get the better of him. And now it's Kucha and Steiko. If Na'Vi win this pistol round, Hellraisers are going to sorely be looking in this game and thinking it can't be redeemed from here. Kucha. He's the man that's got to try and create a problem here because Styko's only down to 19 health. Kucha's on 26, but Edward has him so perfectly, precisionally placed. And one bullet was all it required.
Sexy CS. Anyway, Styko, last man standing. He's going to have to pull off something close to a miracle. He's, he's down to the last 2 clips as Edward waiting so patiently. Is the knife going to come out? Nope. Just closes it down. And was like, no, I don't screw around here. I just want to get the kills. So this is the style that Na'Vi would have wanted. And if you're a Hellraisers fan and you got a little bit of hope after maybe the first game, you're like, oh, it was just a little bit of a blip against Penta. They'll they can get close to Na'Vi. No, not right now. All right. The thing is, though, this is the problem. When you have a lineup that's not necessarily all together, Mo's not here at the moment, Schneider's still stepping in, it's very hard to kind of get these very well constructive plays. You can't do this just standard executes, and Na'Vi are so well drilled at this. You just can't end up doing it. But here we go, Flamey. He's going to be on the receiver. That nade! Look at this. He's just shredded them down to nothing. He's going to just destroy Oscar. Go back for seconds. Make it thirds. He gets Schneider. He gets Kucha. And he's going to go for this one. Why not? He's going to get the tag. He's going to get it. Oh, Guardian just steals it out of the end. You scumbag.
The nade comes in. He's just like, seriously? He was literally trained on his head with the pistol. Yeah. Son of a bitch. There we go. 13-4.
Rude words.
Oh, it's not rude. It's perfectly fine. Na'Vi absolutely in control here. Guardian gets himself the AWP.
In comparison to what Mitch has been saying.
I know, right?
That's much better. I don't know how we've still got him
talking about shooting down at the groin area and stuff
We're
like
not going to bring this up.
He's got so many problems, so many issues going in dry and stuff.
And stuff. Yeah, you really saved it.
Getting straight around the corner there.
Flamey again, just once more. He was like, alright, Guardian saw it last time, maybe he won't steal it from me this time. But still, Guardian now dead. He has a perfect opportunity to get the rest of Hellraisers. But it is going to be Kucha, who's about to get the chance to take down Seized.
Oh, totally whiffed it. Couldn't have whiffed it harder if he tried. That's like watching me play, that one right there. Catches a glimpse of the shoulder. Sprays everywhere, completely missed. But now it's Styko and Oscar against Flamey and Seized. And the bomb is with Seized, I'm pretty sure. I assume that's at the top of Pop Dog. I don't think it's at the bottom. Yeah, it is. Styko's got to go up the top of there. Seized, just waiting to hear any footsteps. Flamey's going to be in perfect position. As soon as Styko comes up here, Flamey is in place.
They've got a really nice crossfire here, to be fair. They've set it up well. They just need to land the shots now, simple as that. Easy turn flash for Flamey. But that's not easy. Styko plays whack-a-mole and, well, the mole wins. And there we go. Oscar closes down Seized, and that was just filthy from Hellraisers. Really nicely played.
Now, they did keep hold of FAMASs in that round, so they will be able to buy up mostly. I say that mostly because Guardian's got nothing. Just 1,500 to his name, so... Somebody... Okay, Flamey passed in the AWP. I was going to say, where did that AWP just come from? Who did that? And it's Flamey. Flamey sacrificed himself. And this has been the big change, but more importantly, there's a second AWP just appeared, and Seized has been gifted that. All right, why not? Go for it, Na'Vi.
And it pays off. Guardian's going to find Styko. And now B will be tested while we say this. You can see Oscar trying to make the most of it out towards A, but still, Na'Vi backing away, but Flamey moving up, Guardian doing what Guardian does, and he started with nothing. Flamey made the sacrifice, and it seemed to have paid off.
So where are they going to go with this one? Angel's going to recover that bomb. Is Guardian going to catch him as he comes around the corner? There's the shot coming through. They've got to get that little peek. Zeus hears the footsteps, hears them patter away. Now Schneider's stayed in position. But as the rest of the team rotate. That's not ideal. Schneider does get taken down though.
Yeah, see, Flamey had pushed up the whole time, then just slowly working up with the 5-7. So he's going to be pushed up. That's going to mean that, well, the T-side have to check and clear a little more meticulously, but still, Angel and Kucha, the last two alive, they've got that molly there, so if they can actually get onto this B side, they could defend it from the upper side, but it's going to be tough. Flamey does catch that full flash there, so he's just going to be sitting here trying to tuck himself in towards the train. You can see those AWPs rattling off in the background, but Angel finds them both. And now Guardian and Edward, oh my word, Angel, that's a triple. It's all in Edward's hands. This has suddenly gone from nothing to everything.
Edward, it's all in your hands. Oh, and Angel goes huge for his team. We've spoken to him before about these sort of big plays when he makes them. It's like, well, if the team's not listening to me, I'm going to have to do it myself. And that's pretty much what he's had to do.
Angel was actually very good to have a good chat to. I think we did. Was it during the qualifiers?
Yes.
Had a really good chat with that guy. He's Certainly an interesting character to have a good chat with. So it's nice to see him pulling off a little bit of that magic that he can bring out. And he does play well for Hellraisers in the big game. Sadly, it doesn't always translate into a team win. But it has forced Na'Vi into a bit of a worse predicament. They are just down to those pistols, just the P250s.
Oh, sees them.
Good luck, Seized.
Surprise! No, didn't work. They were ready for him. There was no party to be had. All followed. And the nade comes rattling down and takes down Zeus. Just Flamey and Guardian remaining. This will be their third round loss, I believe. Yes, it will be. So it should be okay for the next round. Angel just around the side there. Spots out Guardian. Forces him away. Guardian gets tagged down to 1 health. And decides, is he going to rush for it? Nope. He's just going to try and hold on. Oh, Kucha's around the corner. Nearly took Kucha down to 7 health there.
Look at the HP.
Look
2
at
on
them all,
Schneider.
yeah.
Oscar 21, Kucha 7. It's very low, but it's a clean round from Hellraisers. That's a good sign for their T-side. They need to build that economy up for a little bit of buffer because they certainly don't have the rounds to play with. And this is the question now. Does Na'Vi go in for a little bit more of a force, or do they kind of wait it out? They are going to go and keep above kind of like 2k here. Go on the Deagles, a little bit of armor, a nade and a smoke. Nothing major, but looking to maybe disrupt Hellraisers, building up that bank as firmly as possible. And Oscar going to go after the challenge straight up. Misses the shot, but goes back for more.
Oh, Oscar has this one lined up. That's Guardian picked off, finds himself a second. Zeus going down on top of Train. Can't quite make it a third, almost. As he tries to get an angle. It's Edward that's actually just off to the side there, not quite able to find the angle on his head. We're expecting the flank, does manage to get a glimpse, but Flamey pushes on through, gets himself 1 and 2, and that's the bond down. And now he has himself an AK, and that's a problem. Seized, if he can get himself around there, he's got Kucha tracking him down, but he's got a long way to rotate as Flamey makes it 3.
Styko this time won't have the chance to do the whack-a-mole pop-up, and it's down to a 2v2. If Seized can recover a rifle, this could get so much more dangerous, but still, the bomb is loose. Kucha has the chance, takes it, Seized, falls, but now the positions are known. Flamey knows where they are, but he has to pull off the ace in this. He has only the rifle, he has no utility, nothing else. And it looks like Hellraisers are going to try and use this time to the best of their ability, going the long way round, heading to B. Flamey watching the more, let's say, predictable angles, but they can clear so much here. They've got the mollies, but Flamey looking for the challenge. Oscar's about to peek this. They're going head-to-head. He didn't see the feet then on the cross.
And they did, they saw him. Oh, I believe they saw him pass. Yeah, Kucha's already got the angle covered. As soon as he comes around there, that was just unlucky. I mean, that's literally a game of inches right there.
Yeah,
just that split-second timing. But Flamey, great little play from him there. Almost rescuing something from nothing. But, of course, Na'Vi can afford to buy themselves into this next round, and it will be another double-up setup for them. Not been that successful yet. Seized not making too much use of it, but Guardian's still playing great. Flamey at the top of the board, though, after that triple.
All right, big round coming in. Both teams relatively well brought up here. Oscar looking for that challenge as well. Guardian's going to spam it out. Not going to find too much early on. But look at this. Flamey now has everything to work with. Before he's been doing damage with just that 5-7. Now you can find a little bit more. But Guardian's getting pressured from both sides here.
Oh, gets tagged up. So he realizes there are people in Ivy. Oscar's been cleared out though. Seized finds him. So that's the AWPer down for Hellraisers. And now the angle's position changes. Na'Vi are switching Seized over towards B. While Kucha manages to find an aggressive Zeus there, pushing up towards the T-spawn. Styko does take Guardian down, and that's Ivy wide open.
Timing again. Guardian just switching out of that, but remember, Na'Vi have 2 players still on this B side, just Edward towards A, so if Hellraiser's actually committed here, this could be a mistake, and Flamey will comfortably find Angel, but I'm wondering if Edward's going to be prepared for Hellraisers adapting around to this A site. They know Styko was pushing up Ivy. Edward's going to have to be that turret, just holding them back. Almost got a glimpse. He does now. He adjusts for the shot perfectly. Styko falls and does predict more. He's got the information. He's going to call to his teammates. Guys, get over here. I need help now. Schneider takes him down, but it's a race. 28 seconds. Kucha finds Flamey, and Na'Vi are falling like flies. It's all down to Seized.
Kucha used to be the AWPer, remember, before Mu got involved. Reliving some of that glory for a brief moment. Schneider just around the side. Caesar's going to have to quick scope this. He hears him and he finds him. And now 7 health is all that Kucha has.
got
That
a nade
nade in his hand will find him.